Good morning.
We're on the air for real now.
Yep, and we're also on Facebook.
This is WZAA 106.9, LPFM's morning show.
Is that what this is? Okay.
If you would like to listen to 50s and 60s music, it'll be back after 10 a.m. For now, you can listen to us talk about current events and other rubbish.
Plus, we have a guest today, though. We have Magi Jake, which on the radio is going to be kind of hard to see as magic, but I will try to give you the play-by-play description of what's going on there with Magi Jake. So we're just getting set up here this morning. Hopefully everybody has a beautiful morning out there right now. Hopefully
it's a little chilly. Fall is in the air.
I like it, don't you? This is kind of like my favorite season. What do you
I
think?
like fall, but I think we're in the false fall right now.
Yeah, I think
have another, summer. For
no, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Magi Jake has agreed not to cut Kim and I in half. So,
oh, that's good. Dang it.
Because I think two of Kim or I might be a little too much.
Yes, I think so,
for
too.
For Jared or Rick. So
yes.
We had decided that
I will
that was not a good idea.
Agree with that myself. So let me try to get on here. I see Max Sprague's on there. How you doing, Max? Paul Fithen. How you doing, Paul? I got a list of topics to go through today. Rick will be back with us here in a second. And biggest thing you guys can do when you hop on here early, and two of you have already done it. Thank you very much. You've already shared the show. So if you can do that, that does help us. Need to turn
Kim will be in just a minute.
Kim is in the
Rick will be on in just
building.
A minute. And so no,
yeah.
Do not fret, folks. The morning zoo
hey, like
will live
shirt.
on. I like that. Did you get that at Gordon's?
No, I did not. I bought this a long time ago, and I had to cut the sleeves off of it.
Oh, you did that yourself?
Yeah. Can't you tell?
Handy.
It doesn't look very good.
No, I thought you bought it that way.
Over here, it doesn't look that very good. Yeah, this side
Listen, looks
bad.
pretty.
Not bad.
Oh.
But anyhow, no, I did that just it somehow got bleach on it, so some of my red is gone. So that's why I went that direction.
Hey,
with it.
Kim. She's coming in. Coming in.
And Kim, we are on the air, so be careful what you say. All right.
Roger.
No, Charlie.
Over now.
Charlie. My name's Charlie. And there's Rick. And now we're getting everybody in here.
Drew
all right.
is here.
Jared Friend.
And you might ask, why are
doing,
we
Jared?
at the table rather than on the couch?
I forgot that it was our anniversary.
No one asked that.
He's like, don't you have an anniversary coming up?
Well,
I'm thinking.
Did you cut your hair?
I did not.
I'm sure.
looks
I'm
good.
sure.
Curling iron on.
Oh,
I'm
looks
sure
good.
that people are wondering why we're back here at the table rather than over at the.
No one was wondering that.
Well, I'm sure they are.
Well, I guess Kim was.
Well, do you know why?
No.
Okay, we were looking back on our numbers, and our numbers were much higher here than they were over at the couch. So we're going to see today whether that plays out.
Well,
Our ratings were really good the day of the Monday, the Labor Day show.
That was really good.
Yes.
But we weren't even here. Obviously, we were
doing
up
a
at
yard
Charlie's
sale.
office. Yeah.
that's something we need to think about in the future is, coming in on them holidays.
Everybody loves a good yard sale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the yard
that's it.
sale did go pretty good there.
We
Yeah,
did
it wasn't
make
bad.
a good amount of money at the yard sale.
As long as we make enough money to buy lunch, that's all we care about.
It's in the dollar menu, right?
Yep. Let's see. Kim, you got to scoot over a little
Okay.
bit. Get in here a little bit.
You know, I have hidden those spiders I got from you guys. I've hidden them everywhere. On the bed, I've tied it up to the top of the bed so it
Oh,
comes
you
down.
gotta go in the back and see the Halloween lights I hung up.
Oh, right on, I will.
Oh, yeah.
Jared hates spiders, so I've spidered. I just keep moving it
He
around.
the big burly man hates spiders.
Hates spiders.
Oh
Josh
gosh.
Young.
Yeah,
is
Come on,
watching.
Jared.
Dave Hurst. Okay.
Good morning, Boogeyman.
Hey, Dave.
Wayne Turner's watching. How you guys doing?
Hello,
Like I said, if you guys
hello.
don't mind, hit the little share button and share the show. We'd appreciate that greatly.
So I will say
greatly.
happy anniversary again.
Well, you're not even married, are you?
Well, no, we've been together 3
Well,
years
you could
today.
still have an anniversary.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I could have an anniversary of the first time I took a crap, but that doesn't mean,
Well, as if you choose to celebrate it, that's your
I
prerogative.
guess.
Well, that's a pleasant thought this early morning.
You're not married and not at an anniversary yet. You've been together for
Well,
3 years.
who celebrates
yeah.
who celebrates the anniversary of their first wife's marriage and their second wife's?
Charlie Hargrave.
Yeah,
Same day,
so there you
baby.
go. Yeah,
Same day.
Charlie
That
Hargrave.
way I wouldn't forget, see.
yeah.
Yeah, I got married the same day.
Well, do you have to remember the first wedding anniversary?
How could you
No.
forget?
You got to now.
How could you forget?
But my wife, my second wife, wanted to make sure I got married the same day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
For
she,
some reason.
well,
That was a
she's-
complete. That was a
she
girl
has
trick.
such a sense of humor.
Yes, that was a girl trick.
Yeah, I think she just wanted to.
Twist the knife.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Plus, shove it in. You know?
Yeah, give it a little.
Stick it to the man.
Exactly.
Or
the
the
woman.
woman. The woman.
Stick it to the woman.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing the show there, Mr. Hurst. Oh, I appreciate that. Well, you do have a guest, like I said. Now, for Facebook Live, it would be perfect because we have a magician coming in today about 9:15. Magi J.
It's going to make you
He's
disappear,
super
Charlie.
excited. He messaged me to make sure where the studio was and how to get here. And he's really excited.
You too?
He asked me if there was a sign out front.
You too?
Well,
Indeed.
Did you tell him the sign?
Of course. No, I
We
didn't.
don't have a sign.
He,
Open, close.
If anybody's
I
wondering,
saw
we don't have a sign.
We have an open and close sign.
he also asked me earlier, and I told him, I said, it's just out the Jeffersonville Outlet Mall on 41.
Yes, it's in the
That's-
Buckeye
That's
RV
what I turned
Plaza.
him on to you.
Ugh, well, then he must have
Thank
not.
you.
Got, then I was on to me. Thanks, Chuck.
Hey, anytime. Glad I could help there.
Yeah.
But and we got a bunch of topics, but real quick, let's just go through. Obviously, it sounds like the highlight of our week was the yard sale. last
Yeah,
week.
yeah. It was
So,
We had a barbecue after.
That's right.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it was.
I was pretty happy with all that. We need to do that again.
I got to steal back a trailer that was stolen from me. I like
Oh,
that. That
you
was my
stole it?
highlight.
Yeah.
Wait a
Certainly
minute.
did.
Did you actually
She
steal
stole
it?
her
Indeed.
stolen trailer.
I did indeed.
Oh.
With the help of the sheriff, it was great.
Oh, well, if the sheriff was there
And
while
the
you
Savannah
hooked it up.
PD.
And, yeah, there you go.
I've had enough. You know what I mean? I'm out for blood.
Yeah.
Getting y'all one at a time, like dominoes.
And your
Next
bid
time
and
we're
your
gonna
bid
play
for city
games.
council, or I guess it was village council.
Yes, it was a coup,
It
and
was
that's
a
all
coup?
we'll just say. We'll just say that. But
Kim?
I am going to actually work with the mayor's wife on the Finance and Records Committee. She reached out to me
There
and
you
wants
go.
me to come up. So, I want to help in any way. You know what I mean?
You're
so,
probably better off.
well, probably.
Get a taste of that.
Yes.
And see, one thing about councils, all these local towns, you could just go up and be the heckler. Like Bossier has that.
That would be a
Is
lot
that
more
right?
fun, right?
David Hiles
Yeah.
doesn't?
Yeah, he does too. Mike Bossier can be the heckler. Mike Walls can be the heckler. We had hecklers when I was mayor. And
Oh, yeah.
the problem with me when I was mayor, I was teaching elementary school at the time, and I hate to say it, but a lot of my elementary students were smarter than the people who came to the council meetings. So that's why I got out of there. So, can't put up with
What's
this
that say
crap.
about Sabina, huh?
So anyhow, we used to, your grandma Jeremy Sloan. She was never a heckler though. She just needs things explained to her. That's all.
Who, Virginia?
No,
Your mom?
No, Jeremy Sloan's grandma.
Jeremy Sloan,
Oh, I thought meant your
our
okay.
wrestling announcer.
Jeremy Sloan
Gotcha.
he's the cousin. No, his uncle's the one we saw in the video there at Shell with the mop.
Stealing it?
Sunoco?
Stealing.
Oh, yes,
Sunoco,
yes.
Sunoco.
So you
Suno-
guys
That-
finally
That was his
got-
uncle?
They got a taste of the main
Of the
street.
Sabina Sunoco.
The Sabina Sunoco. You just sit in the
So
yard
that was
watching
Jeremy's
like
uncle.
the soap opera. Hate and
That was
Place.
Jeremy's uncle. Okay.
Yep, sorry, Jeremy.
Was he ever charged
This is
with
the
mop
place,
theft?
people.
Mop
Was I
theft.
kidding you?
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
not all the action happen at
It's
the gas
basically
station?
like a movie theater. You can just sit there and watch people
Oh,
act
yeah.
a fool.
And their
for
backstories make
hours.
you need Xanax.
I heard he had to. I heard his.
He said what?
His discipline was he had to
Mopping floors.
Had to mop the municipal building for the next year. That's what I heard. I don't know
I
if they
can't
Gosh.
believe that or not.
Doesn't anybody know that there isn't any place on the planet anymore that you can get away with anything without being on camera?
Yeah.
Jeremy Sloan right now is going, what?
Your uncle
he hadn't
stole
heard,
it
huh?
back from Sunoco.
we talked about that last week. Jay, you know Jay. Yeah. Yeah, he casually snuck over to the kerosene pump casually put the mop beside him and took it over to his car and put it in his car.
He stole the freaking mop.
Yes, he stole the mop. You saw that.
Those big
It was caught
the
on
big
camera.
thefts, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Randy Haynes, how you doing?
best criminal? I don't
Jamie
think
Earl
so.
Pollard,
No,
Todd
I'd say that's a
Walker.
misdemeanor.
Sabina is going communist recruiting Kim. I know. You're exactly right. Well, Kim got her trailer back. Let's go on down. Rick, anything positive, good this week?
Well, we did 2 more football games. We did a game at Western Brown with Clinton Massey.
Which Clinton Massey won, and that was a crazy score.
That was that. Well, this
86 to 50-something?
this sophomore quarterback for Western Brown is phenomenal. He's a
I
sophomore.
mean, they still lost.
He's 6'5". He threw for 400 and I don't know 50 some yards.
Against Clinton Massey, that's saying something.
The week before, against even though they lost against New Richmond, he had thrown for over 500 yards.
Dang.
He's just absolutely phenomenal. He has a brother that he hooks up with as far as passing that is almost as tall as he is. I think he's 6'3".
Do they send any defenders out on the field, though?
As far as defenders?
Yeah, do they send any defenders out on the field?
I think that's their
Well,
pitfall.
basically, it was a game of Massey's running against the passing of Western Brown, and Western Brown just wasn't quite up to the task. But the
Didn't
points.
Clinton Massey score 86 points?
Yes, they did, and they also had 54 points scored against them by Western Brown. That's probably the most points in at least 15, 20 years in regular season that has ever been scored by Massey, or scored against Massey. So all I would say is they got something to deal with next year and the year after when this young man gets.
Yeah, but they better get some beef in there. It sounds like.
Yeah, well, the Western Brown had a big front line, much like Wilmington. Now, Wilmington went to Goshen, and Goshen.
So Wilmington beat Goshen 21-14 at their homecoming game.
It's her game.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's cool. And I actually watched
Goshen's
a little
always
bit
tough
of
at home. Yeah. Goshen is tough at home, and they were actually predicted to be the second in the league, and they've lost now all three of their first 3 games.
Goshen has.
Yeah, so Goshen not going well for the Warriors.
Well, you know what we got to blame that on?
The Corona.
Oh, I figured you were going to say Democrats.
No, the Corona.
Well, same thing.
Of course it is.
yeah.
Same thing.
Speaking of, I brought
No, wait a
some
minute.
little-
Wait a
Oh,
minute.
was
Wait a minute. No, we're still going through everybody's what they had.
Yeah, we want to know what you did.
Oh, Lord, I apologize.
Yeah, you got your trailer back. Rick got to do some football games.
Oh, my bad.
Sydney, what are you doing? What about you? Anything exciting happened this week?
Other than the football game
Got you a new
crew.
watch. I know that.
I did get a new one.
I got a new watch.
Yeah, I was going to say, I noticed
Yeah,
that
Charlie's
too.
got his.
Get fit.
Sydney's got hers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like yours. Yours adds steps a lot quicker than my phone did.
Sydney is getting very close to graduating.
You'll have to look at my, well,
That's exciting.
maybe
Yeah.
you can look at my numbers. We did. I tell you what, I'm getting like 4 or 5 miles about every day, so that's pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Well, 4 or 5 miles is 10,000 steps, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've been
Yeah.
getting your steps in.
There you
Well,
go, Charlie.
I tell you,
Sydney-
when you
oh.
teach school, when you're up and walking around,
Yeah, I mean, it really does add up.
You're moving.
Your watch actually matches Sydney's
it
Jacket
does.
that I have on.
jacket that she
It
has.
does indeed.
We need personalized cups. Hey,
Yeah,
that's
we
not
do.
a bad idea.
Well, no,
Me too.
we had talked at one time about mugs for coffee or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, Kim. But anyway, the mugs would have the WZAA logo on
I
one
have a
side,
tumbler with the
and then
WZAA
the
logo.
morning,
we can
the
get
morning
them.
zoo on the others.
You know
yes,
where to get 'em.
I know. Yeah, and that's where we'll go someday.
All right.
Oh, Jake asked me for if he had a hat.
Yeah, we don't have
He
any.
asked me
Oh,
that
ZAA
too.
hat.
We don't have.
Well, we
any
know where to
hats
get
yet.
those too, don't we, Charlie? We
Yep.
do need some more of those because Sydney's never had one, and she actually thinks she owns part of this company.
Jeremy
I wonder
Sloan.
what would give her that idea.
I
Jeremy,
only pay the bills here.
Jeremy Sloan says no. Kim
it's
just
weird
needs to
how that
try not to
works.
grab the wrong one,
The wrong mug. Yeah.
the wrong cup.
Oh, like I just tried to grab your pop? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well-
Roger.
Kim,
So I've been working on
Charlie, I
my
keep
thesis.
telling
That's
you
what
that,
I've
Charlie.
been working on.
yeah, that's a lot of fun. Her
And-
thesis.
It's very exciting.
But are you done?
Oh,
Oh, no, she's got
I still
a couple
have 2
more
more
weeks.
to go. But
more
I
weeks.
scheduled my exit interview, and I got my digital invitations for my graduation
gonna ask
ceremony.
Which is virtual.
Which is virtual
You don't
due
get
to,
to-
the coronavirus.
Yeah.
So it'll be on October.
We'd
2nd.
actually thought about going to Florida so she could.
I was going
I was
to
going to ask you if
walk.
you get to participate. You get
So
to
she's
walk.
going to probably be the valedictorian if she
I
doesn't
still get
fall
to
on
do
her
my
face.
virtual speech. most likely. As long as I still hold the title by then.
Yeah, we don't know because she's neck and neck with
Sir Jupiter.
Jupiter. Isn't that an incredible name, Jupiter?
Jupiter, is that a man or a woman?
That is a man.
He's a man.
Yeah.
He's a
very
grown-
funny guy.
Grown man.
You know
Yeah.
why they call him Jupiter? Because he's got great big moons. Okay. Anyhow.
Great big moons.
Yeah. Well, let's see. So,
I thought that would be
wow.
Uranus.
Yeah, I got.
Wouldn't that be
think about
Uranus
this.
if you had big moons?
No, but you know what Star Trek and toilet paper have in common?
Oh no! Here we go.
Star
Another-
Trek, I love
another
Star
Star
Charlie
Trek
Dad
joke.
joke.
toilet paper. Yeah, they both circle Uranus and wipe out Klingons. Yeah, in case you didn't know that.
Oh my gosh.
Anyhow,
Oh gosh.
you like
Charlie.
I did like
Hargrave
that. I
joke.
remember you saying that now.
Yeah, I've said it before.
Well, it's better after you've had a couple drinks.
I'm drinking iced tea.
Decaf coffee here.
Our
Trying to think,
energy drinks.
What positive? I tell you, I've had some negative things. I could go on a big rant.
I wanted to ask you.
Oh, this week?
Had
yeah.
some
Well, and I really,
traitors among the.
Did it-
I can't really go into it.
Does
on
it have
the
anything
air.
to do with school? Schools.
At one?
What?
Yes,
Okay.
And that's
Is it
why
is it
I'm
your
not-
favorite school?
No, not necessarily.
Well, the one you always ran about.
It's not either. I'll explain on after.
See how I always put you
Off
on the
the
hot
air.
seat.
No, I'm fine. I mean, because
things don't
part of me would like just to go ahead and blast it, but I'm not going to.
All right.
No, it's just one of those things, where you do something for somebody and you go over and beyond what they expect and do things, and then when they have the opportunity to pay you back or to help you out a little bit, it's like
They
heck
turn their
You
back
get the
on you.
finger
heck
is
with
what
you.
you get.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly pretty much.
Well,
what
I mean,
feel.
you live and learn, Charlie. You know
So-
that happens sometimes. So
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you ever
Uh-huh,
need
gotcha.
cataract surgery, you know I'm here for you.
I know. No, yeah, it was not. It was just. I mean, seriously, this if they would have just sent the offer out. I mean, we're talking 5-figure difference in my salary.
Ooh, that's ridiculous.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
5 figures.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not a big 5-figure, but still 5 figures
In your salary for
just my. See, here's the deal: with state teachers' retirement is a joke. The insurance, because you pay I pay $700 a month, and that's just for me and my daughter.
oh, this is
If I wanted-
insurance.
If I want, well, let me get to it. If I want to add my wife, it's an extra like $600 just for her. But here's the thing: if I would have picked up this position, I would have got their insurance automatic,
Which would have been better, covered everything.
Yep, and it would have covered my wife,
Right.
and automatic $700 a month raise
Whoa.
because I wouldn't have to pay my health insurance through state teachers' retirement.
So now you're
anymore.
saying if you would have gotten this position,
Yes.
and you're saying that you didn't get the position.
I didn't even know about it.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't even informed. That's what's bad about
All
it.
right. Okay.
That's what's bad about it.
I can relate.
And that was BS.
So you would have gone back to work after being retired.
yeah, but I
double
mean,
dipped, as we say, right?
This isn't anything quite as strenuous as what I was doing. So yeah, I would have. Yeah.
What do you do that's strenuous, Charlie?
Well, with a high school band, that's a lot of extra hours.
Oh,
You know
okay.
that,
But it
because-
wouldn't have had anything to do with the band.
No.
Okay.
No. I am helping with Miami Trace's band. and
Well,
I'm
you're
having-
done, aren't you?
They've always had a great marching band.
I'm having an excellent
Are you done?
time. Not really, because see, they'll probably host a
Playoff game.
playoff game.
Well, yeah, of course. They've got
So
that beautiful
hopefully
field.
The band will be allowed to go to that, and we'll be able to play for the. We don't even know. for
Well,
sure.
no one knows yet. We don't know whether we're going to be able to stream it, but I mean, let's face it, nothing's going to change. In fact, right now, we're already planning basketball season, and we don't expect that anything's going to change with the number of people that can be in the stands during the basketball season. So it's going to be probably just like it is football, parents of people that are playing. And the same thing with the basketball. So we're still going to have to stream basketball games. And that's good for us because of course, we've always streamed
That would
basketball
be
live.
That would be a worse environment than football because you're
Yeah,
inside.
Right.
Everyone's inside versus
Right.
outside.
So, and there's been some other things too that's happened this week, but they're not airworthy. But it's just
I get
it's
you.
like it's
So
like
you've had a bad week.
Well, it's just been the last couple of days.
I was gonna
We
say,
had a great time.
Well, you make us
Labor
feel
Day.
good, Charlie, because
The way I said, 2019 and 2020 has been very eye-opening.
2019 for you,
Just into this year, a year, just the past year has been very eye-opening.
right?
You know,
Jeremy Sloan, just till after November 3rd, he says, will it be eye-opening?
Well, I
And
think
that's probably true.
Well, it is to a certain extent. I don't think that the corona is going to go away, or the lockdowns or the requirements. I don't think they're going to change much till the spring.
I don't
I
either.
think
Well,
they're here to stay.
I personally, I think I think 2021 is going to be worse. And I got to ask this. I've asked this every week on this show, and it almost happened a couple months ago down in Bethel. Where are the militias? Where are the rednecks? Because, they're getting tired of a lot of this stuff that's going on.
You got it.
Well,
And where are they? I mean, it's time for them to
I
kind
think,
of step up.
but I think more and more people are not wearing the mask. I think more and more people
Yeah.
are
Waking up.
We were at B-Dubs yesterday in Lebanon, and they were very stringent about having the masks on until you got to your booth. And then, of course, then you can take the mask, which makes no sense.
No.
Then you take the masks off, and then you put them back on if you're walking to the restroom or if you're leaving, the restaurant. But a lot of it just depends. Even as far as at these games, you're supposed to be wearing masks if you're outside on the field, going to the concession stand or the restroom. In the booths, the press boxes, no one wears any masks.
Right.
So it's
Well,
all
it would
just
be ridiculous for us to be wearing masks.
Trying to do a
because
game.
they were at first trying to say that we should wear them in between when we're talking on the broadcast.
Oh
like,
my God.
Yeah, you're
what
gonna
are we
take a
pull them
mask
up and then
off,
pull
put it
them down,
on.
pull them up, pull
Makes
them
no
down?
sense,
Like,
no.
I mean, how the heck are we going to do that when we're talking every 5
And
minutes?
I've got to say, everywhere we've done games,
as bad
both
as
home
eating.
and away,
Like-
the ADs and they've all been
So they
great.
try to section off an area of the press box where we are just with our little group, and then we don't wear the mask. Because
Yeah.
it's too much for us
It's
to
ridiculous.
try to.
It's just plain
And
ludicrous.
I had never, in all my travels, been to Goshen and saw their football stadium or their facility.
Pretty
which
nice,
It
looked like.
reminds me, Goshen reminds me a lot of, the college is no longer operational. They closed down.
Urbana?
But Urbana College, the press box, the field, it all had that same look and feel of Urbana College. And then we went to Western Brown, and they have actually two press boxes. They have what would be the old press box, which is what we were in, and then they have a brand new, much larger press box on the opposite side of the field. But that stadium as well, very nice facility, very nice, and we'll be there again this next week. After this game, this Friday. But Sydney will be there 2 weeks from now with Wilmington.
Wilmington.
Yeah,
No.
Wilmington will play
Master.
Western Brown 2 weeks from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 weeks from
All right.
Friday.
Crappy things that have happened this week.
Oh, wait a
I
minute,
had
you
to
found
see
some?
my nutritionist on Thursday. This was after I saw y'all, obviously. And she told me I have to start consuming 95 grams of protein a day and 30 grams of fiber, which is just ridiculous. Like,
Wow.
ridiculous. So I have gained 1 pound because I'm consuming like such
just
a
have
high
to work
amount of
harder.
protein. So now I have to work out even more than I already work out because I run like 5 miles a day and lift weights.
Just eat a bunch of peanut butter.
No, I mean I've been consuming the
Yeah,
protein. It's
these
fine. But
these
now my
protein, you gotta see these
stomach
protein
hurts.
bars. They're like cardboard.
Ugh.
Like they're over
I
20
can
grams of
imagine.
protein.
Yeah.
So like I'm consuming the
They
protein
actually taste
and,
good.
and I'm eating all the spinach to get the
Oh,
fiber
the spinach is
in.
great. Baby
And,
spinach.
Like,
Fresh baby spinach.
But
I
my
love
stomach
it.
hurts from
Yeah.
eating all of the fiber and the protein.
We've got a question on Facebook here.
All right.
I don't know what the answer is either. Mickey Green Lair is watching, which I'm not sure if I remember.
I
who
went to
Mickey
school
Green-
with her.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I make
I'm
Right.
Trace. I'm Miami Trace.
Mickey,
I'm going to
okay.
say the 1 pound is muscle.
I would too.
Yeah, I think so. There you go.
I'm saying
That's
that.
what I'd say too.
That's what I'm going with. So anyone who wants to fight me
So
about
you
it.
did briefly go to Miami Trace, right there.
For high school, I did.
Was that after you were
After high
expelled from Sabina?
Oh, I wasn't expelled. I chose to leave. My grandmother paid tuition for me to go to Miami Trace because Sabina was a hole.
Well, because it was a different county, right? There was no
different schools,
it's not like it
county
was,
or not. Back then you had to pay tuition. Now they have open enrollment.
well, you still couldn't go to. Could you go to Miami Trace now if you lived in Sabina? No, you'd have to still pay tuition.
No, open enrollment now. You could go.
Well, no, that's what I was just asking. Does open enrollment mean it's open throughout the state?
Yes.
Or is it just in the county?
State. Wherever you want to open enrollment.
So you can go anywhere you want to as far as
if you
school.
got the transportation and you got
and
yes.
that money follows you. That state money that would normally go to the homeschool then goes to the school
because they report it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, that's good. I think that's great. You got to be able to go to the
Steak
school
and
of your
taters.
choice.
I'm with Richmond Keach there.
Yep.
Yeah, big old nasty
Steak
new
and taters. Really.
So what were
steak.
you saying?
I have a question here,
All right.
and I don't know the answer. And Mickey Green on here, Lair, puts hashtag FDP. And Jeremy Sloan goes FDP question mark.
I don't know.
I
what
don't
that
either.
means.
Mickey Lair, if you're still
Let us
watching,
know, Mickey.
FTP.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Well,
and you can
Is
write
it something
on
we
Facebook.
can say on the?
Well,
As
even if
long
we
as
can't.
it's appropriate, I guess.
Well, you can
I mean,
go
you can
put-
tell us what it means.
tell
That
what
doesn't
it
mean we
means,
can
yeah.
say it out loud over the radio.
But we
you
could say something
tell
See,
close.
us.
Danielle
Yeah.
Bentley's watching with us.
Yeah.
Well, we've not
And
said anything
David
controversial yet
Hiles.
today.
Whoever
man,
said
the
something
legend.
about steak
David
and
Hiles is
potatoes,
on. Hey, David.
He's on there.
I don't.
He's my
usually
greatest
eat
fan.
Potatoes. Potatoes are carbohydrates.
Indeed, he
but
is.
I eat steak.
Steak's good.
Heat wave is here.
Yeah.
Oh, heat wave.
Have
The
a
brain
heat
claw. The
wave,
brain claw.
Tropical heat wave.
Jeez. Becca Davis, how you doing? She's watching. Well, let's move on. Let's try to get somewhat organized here.
Oh, are we?
No. All right, but let's try. to
Well,
get
wait a
there.
minute.
I've got my list,
Charlie,
here.
before you get into that, maybe Sydney ought to do her thing.
You are listening to WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio. This is the Morning Zoo.
You kind of remind me of a ring girl when you do that.
That's right, when she walks
I'm
around.
waiting for you to walk around with a cardboard
needs to come
sign.
out
Ding ding,
somewhere.
Yeah.
round one.
Yeah.
It is
This-
8 a.m.
Well, it's almost 8 a.m.
Then we need.
in 1 minute.
Then we need that ding,
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 ding.
ding, ding, ding.
Now,
Ladies and
Charlie,
gentlemen.
you can get into your.
Okay, focus drive pride. See, I didn't even know that.
There you
Pride,
go.
pride in our marching Panther pride. We're having to follow the same restrictions at football games. And I tell you what, I've loved working with Miami Trace's band, and they are a lot of fun. And they, I tell you what, they're getting better, and we'll get them better. That percussion section. It's not going to happen overnight, but they are showing improvement, and we're going to work our butts off a little bit in the winter too.
Did you know that the Panthers, they are the marching pride? Did you know that a group of tigers or panthers are called a pride?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I
Duh.
thought it was lions.
I
guess
lions, tigers.
Oh,
I
I
think
was like-
I don't.
Bears.
Oh,
Oh
my!
my.
Well, and Miami Trace has a great football team. This
Oh yeah,
year.
they always
Well,
did.
they're 3-0. We'll just put it that way.
They always did.
Now, in about
Kimmy
3
Paul.
or
I
Good
know. They're
morning,
going to play
Kimmy.
Jackson. They're going to play some big
about
schools.
3 or 4 weeks, you may want to ask that same
Yeah.
question.
Well, they might be 500. Yeah, right.
Well, I think they play Jackson and Chillicothe, which are going to be tough for them.
Yeah.
And then they play Courthouse.
Well, they play Courthouse.
So
for
they've
their-
got a chance there,
Yeah.
I think. But
So
Courthouse
they
has
could
beat them last 2 or 3 years.
Well, I mean, either
so-
way, I'm sure that they will elect to go into the playoffs, as most teams probably
Yeah.
will, other than maybe, some of the teams that don't win any games this year. They'd rather play some more games.
Nikki says
Kim?
her son is your symbol guy.
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
Yep. Nao.
ding, ding.
Yeah.
Symbol.
Yeah, he's full. I told him the other night, I said, man, I wish I had half the energy that kid has.
Oh.
I mean, he just runs around, crashes somebody. He's crazy. I like him. He's a good kid. But it's like, dude, he wears, I don't even have to work out. All I got to do is just watch
Watching.
him. Yeah, and I'm like,
Get tired watching him.
I'm tired.
You get a few more steps
Hard.
automatically
Eddie
put on you.
Montgomery, what's happening? I'll probably see Eddie tonight down at the Cruise Inn in Blanchester at Chubby's Pizza, 5 to 8 tonight. Well, let's get into some of my list here because we do have a
All
short
right,
day.
Charlie has a list.
All right, we'll come back to that one later because that's more important. But let's go ahead and talk. You've already hit this a little bit. Last week, Wilmington and Clinton Massey won. Where are your football games at this week?
This week, Friday night, we've got a football game that we'll be doing at Wilmington. New Richmond comes in to play Wilmington. And New Richmond, they are undefeated. So is Wilmington, for that matter. Wilmington's 2-0. New Richmond is 3-0. And then on Monday, because of the coronavirus, Batavia will be coming into. It was supposed to be at Batavia, but Batavia will be coming into Clinton Massie to play the Falcons on a Monday night game. It's a special Monday night game.
We will be streaming both games.
Then we also have a volleyball match at East Clinton. They will be playing Georgetown. East Clinton has a great volleyball
Now, when
team.
is that?
That's Wednesday. Next Wednesday.
Okay.
Next Wednesday.
Right.
So I don't know why he's advertising it now because we'll have another morning show.
Well, that's
by then.
all right. No, that's good people. That's
We
fine.
want people to know. But anyway.
What about now? Are you doing it? Because you're only going to do one football game on Friday night then?
Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
Correct.
We're actually going to 3 cameras. We're going to do 3 cameras on Friday and then 3 cameras on Monday since we've split the games up. The only reason is, as people probably know, Wilmington had to cancel their game with Batavia back in week 2 because of someone tested positive for corona. Then they were the whole Batavia team had to sit out for 2 weeks, 14 days, and their first day back would have been Friday. And they would have had to play, Clinton Massie. So you're not going to, without any practice or anything else, you're not going to come in and try to play Clinton Massie. So, and I don't know why they moved it to Massie, but the game, so Massie actually is going to have 4 home games this year instead of the traditional 3. But that will be a Monday night game. Then Massie has to turn around and play New Richmond, which, once again, they're a good team and currently undefeated. They'll have to play them on Friday. And so...
Well, I'm available now, so let me know if you need me. All right.
All right.
Johnny Wireman's watching us. Johnny's got a very cool Mustang. He wins about every place he goes.
I thought you were going to say mustache.
That's what I thought he was going to say. I thought he was going to say a cool mustache.
Cool Mustang. Richard Keach, he's back on there. Okay, so that's what's going on this week. The Big Ten still's not playing football, but everybody else seems to be.
And they're starting to lose players. They're going to the NFL.
Yep. Yeah, the Big Ten, they really have screwed up. Yeah. I mean, how can we have professional football, but the Big Ten can't play? Well, especially when all these other college places.
There's a lot of politics going on there.
That's exactly what it is.
All right.
Exactly what it is.
Well, let's get to this topic because we really haven't had a show since this, and I don't want to get into conspiracy theories and all that crap.
Why not?
But I tell you what, let's just do a quick roundabout here and tell us where you were on 9/11.
I'm not disclosing this information.
She was in a bunker somewhere.
I told you I don't want to disclose this information.
Well, you can give us general, like you're in.
She doesn't know where she was. Do you know where you were, Sydney?
What city you were in, stuff like that.
Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
You were in Washington.
Oh,
my dad worked at the Pentagon.
So, without disclosing any other information, just your personal feelings, how old were you at the time?
Yeah, I was in elementary school.
Yeah, so how old were you? When were you born? I'll help you out here.
1993.
She's not good at math.
1993? So that means you were 9 years old, 8 years old, basically. 8 to 9, somewhere in there. So 8 years old, you had to be scared to death.
Well, she didn't know what was going on.
I didn't know what was happening.
You didn't know what was happening?
I was in a nondescript location.
Well, that's fine. But afterward, when you figured out, did you realize how it was pretty daggone scary, wasn't it? Just asking feelings, nothing specific.
Yes, I guess.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, Rick, where were you that morning?
I was in a business. My business, I had a computer store and an internet service. I was at Waring Office Supply, where that business was currently located, and we were watching the television when all this went down. All very bizarre, and of course, we didn't know, whether we were being attacked or what was happening. But it was a startling morning that morning. But I can remember it very vividly.
You're at your own business.
That's right. I was at work.
Okay. All right, Kim.
My dad's girlfriend, her sister was in the hospital at UC, University of Cincinnati. I was about 23, 24, and we were literally visiting her, and it was up on the television that the planes had come in.
Wow. Okay.
I remember exactly.
So you're not. Well, that's I wasn't around when Kennedy was shot because that was in '63. I was born in '64.
I was in 5th grade.
Yeah, but people remember exactly.
Oh, absolutely. I was out at recess when we heard coming back in from recess.
Well, see, I was teaching at East Clinton Middle School, and this is how dumb I was. my wife calls me and says, "Hey, have you heard what's going on?" And I said, "No." And she started telling me about it, and I didn't believe her. I said, "Man, it sounds like a crazy movie. You sure you're not watching a movie? Because it sounded like, to me, it was like a plot for a movie." And she said, no, this is really happening. So I went and talked to one of the principals, and it was Jerry Savage. And I said, "Hey, what's going on?" And he said, "The United States is under attack." That's exact words. And I was like, wow. And he just very, very blunt. He said, parents have been taking their kids out of school all morning. Said, it was a bad deal all the way around. Well, anyhow, it was kind of interesting because since then I've taught at Greenfield, and I had a sub the other day for 9/11 at Wilmington. And Wilmington and Greenfield both turned the TVs on and let their kids watch what was going on. East Clinton, it was very hush-hush. They didn't want any of the kids knowing.
Didn't want to upset
Really?
them.
Yeah, they didn't want any of the kids knowing.
They'd probably start panicking.
So it was interesting, the two different reactions. The school, I'm not saying one's right and one's wrong, but it was just interesting, the difference of how they handled it. And when I subbed at Wilmington the other day, this guy had an interesting take on it because they had a deal where he showed this video. It was called Boat something. You can see it on YouTube, boat launch or something like that. Anyhow, the largest water emergency, like people getting out, what do they call that? Getting out of the town.
Evacuation?
Yeah, the largest water evacuation was like during World War II. They got like 900,000 people out in a week. That day of September 11th, they moved over 500,000 people because they just did an all call. Anybody with a boat, come and get people and transport.
Where were they moving them out of? New York?
New York, yeah. Over 500,000 people got transported by water in 9 hours.
Yeah, but there's
Wow.
like 14 million people that live in New York City.
But that's the biggest water evacuation in history.
Yes.
And you don't even really think about that. You just think about the terrorist attack. But
You're right, yeah.
You think about all the other stuff that went on that day. Heat wave says on September 11th, 2001, I was a cashier. We only had one customer in our store. The parking lot was empty. And the back dock guy, Chuck, told me, one of the vendors told him we were under a terrorist attack. It was 9:15 a.m. I had worked 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. that day. I was in total shock. I think, everybody was.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, no one expected it other than some people that might have been shuttled away in the dead of night to an undisclosed location.
Okay, so you said you didn't want any conspiracy theories, which is why I didn't talk about what happened to me.
Well,
But
So very early in the morning, obviously I know what happened to me.
before
on the night.
9/11 actually occurred,
Before any of the activities occurred,
your father worked in the
my
Pentagon.
father worked in the Pentagon. Yes, I know how old I was. I was picked up very early in the morning.
By men
My
in
brother
black
and I
black
were picked up
SUVs
by the military police very early in the morning
before 9/11.
before anything was blown up and taken to a nondescript location. My father works in top secret communications.
Right.
And take to a nondescript location, some hotel, and put in a conference room with a bunch of other people's children who work in top secret communications.
So obviously,
In Washington, D.C.
something was already known prior to the actual.
Oh, yes.
We
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
know where exactly
So
we
talk
were.
about conspiracy theories.
I don't think it's a theory.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason I said that I wasn't for you not to avoid that conversation, but was you could have a whole show.
Oh,
on
shoot, yeah.
conspiracy theories.
So we didn't know what happened because they didn't tell us what was going on, and we were there all day, and we
Hanging
stayed
out.
the night there.
Yeah.
So in the hotel. So
Well, and all air travel was shut down except
and they didn't tell us what was going on.
except that the royal family that was visiting here in the U.S., the Saudis, were allowed by a then mullah to leave the country and fly in U.S. airspace when all other airspace was shut down. but the Saudis were allowed to leave the country that morning of 9/11. So, and this was Robert Mueller, the then acting head of the FBI. He cleared them to leave. So, another interesting conspiracy
To
theory
say the
there.
least.
Right.
No one else having a problem hearing this, I don't think, because no one said anything. Michael DeWine, morning all, refused to use this app, so I can't see or hear.
F burgers.
Stay Steph, yeah.
Who
Stay
refused to
safe.
use the app?
Michael R. DeWine, who's a cousin of Mike DeWine.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure he's.
Our condolences.
I'm sure he's sorry too right now because he's a big Second Amendment guy, and Mike DeWine's trying to go after that now. Let's get to another topic since I just brought up DeWine. How many thought it was so exciting the other day when Mike DeWine comes on TV and him, his wife, and John Husted are getting their flu shots? Did you guys see that?
No.
I did not see that.
I've
but,
stopped.
Sorry, it's
I've
kind
stopped
of
watching him
weird.
because
I can't go it.
I tend to sort of throw up in my mouth whenever I see him anymore. He
I
just
talk to the
absolutely makes me
TV.
sick.
I talk to
kind
the
of
TV.
disturbing, actually.
Yeah.
Why does anyone want to watch someone else get a
Well,
vaccination?
the word is right now that Mike Husted
Compliance.
and
Be-
or I
be a
mean
good
that
patriot, do as I do.
that John Husted and Mike DeWine are at odds with each other.
I'd like
That-
to see John Husted get it.
Well,
but
Husted is now apparently waking up and realizing that he's hitched his wagon to the wrong horse,
It's a little too late.
and that he wants to be
You've
governor.
buttered your biscuit,
Yeah,
bro.
he wants to be
Like-
governor, and he sees that it's probably not going to happen now because he's been, the henchman to Mike DeWine.
yes, he's tainted.
Yeah. I think they're both toast. Of course, Mike DeWine, he's getting up there in age anyway. He's made all his dirty money, and so at this point, he probably he doesn't
he
need to
needs- he
make any
needs
more
to
money.
go.
He's got everything that he needs to
Go.
be fat and sassy on the farm.
Yep.
Kim, why don't you read what Mickey Green Lair put on there?
Okay.
She's got a long one.
Okay. All right. Mickey says, I was getting ready to go to Robin's Nest in Jeffersonville to order my wedding flowers when my best friend, Rain Riley Mullins, started texting me to turn on 10 TV News. I turned it on and saw the first tower on fire. The news anchor was saying the unconfirmed belief is that the World Trade Towers was hit by an airplane. I ran back up to wake up my husband, who worked third shift at TFO at the time. We ran back to the front room just in time to see the second tower hit. We just stood in disbelief and silence. And I bet they weren't the only ones that day.
I
You just don't
know.
know what to say. Just, what is this?
Well, yeah, even I didn't get to see any of this stuff until I come home that evening, and I kept telling these kids, you got to realize the news coverage was like Fox, CNN, ABC, CBS, all was 24 hours a day on this for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
Oh,
remember,
my,
yeah.
yes.
And I was telling them about some of the reporting that was going on, like in the middle of the street, and then these buildings would collapse behind the reporters, and the reporters having to start to run
Right, yeah.
to get away from
Yeah.
the debris and everything that was coming at them. And then I used the example, I just hit my hand on the desk. I said, while they're doing interviews, you kept hearing this. And it was people jumping out of the building, hitting the roof.
Yeah, the
below.
original towers.
You
yeah.
remember that?
Yeah, I
Well, the
remember
buildings were on
guy-
fire,
The guy
so-
jumped out.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're either going to
what
get
wouldn't
burnt to
you?
death
Yeah,
or...
Right.
I guess you run.
That was probably the worst thing that,
Yeah.
and they had it on television.
I
so,
saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top blocker, John Husted, that's what happens when you hook your wagon to a jackbutt. Don't expect a Budweiser Clydesdale.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Back the
Tilly.
wrong horse there.
Tilly Lewis,
Tilly.
Inline, MJ Doyle Messer is watching, Kay Crum, Rain Riley Mullins is watching also. which
Hello,
you were just
everyone.
You were
mentioning.
just mentioning. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to say about night? Yeah, the other thing too is people don't realize that the planes were grounded so long. So like if you're flying to Europe or flying somewhere, there's even a musical written about 9/11 where one of those planes got
No way.
and it was the plane they had to land like in Greenland, I think,
Okay.
well, because they couldn't come back into the country.
and there's a musical written about it. I can't think of the name of it.
There were several planes that were diverted to Canada. The Canadians were great. Canada was very helpful in letting people land in Canada, various places, Nova Scotia, And like you said, Greenland, there were a lot of places that the planes were in the area. They were going to run out of fuel, so they had to land somewhere. They couldn't come into New York, and so they landed there in Canada. And the people were put up in hotels, or even in some of the places like Nova Scotia. You were just with some families because they didn't have a lot of big hotels to hold all these passengers.
Joyce Taylor's watching. Lori East Markham is watching. Yeah, and they were grounded. Another thing, the guy did say wrong in his presentation the other day, because he had a video presentation for him, and I corrected it when it was over. It said Bush headed back to Washington immediately, which he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He flew around.
Yeah, they actually kept him in the air.
Yeah, he stayed in the air.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
They had to make sure that everything was clear.
And they finally brought him back. And yeah, that was more of the scary part too, I think. Just thinking about all those planes that were still up in the air and this stuff's going on. How many more? And the one that landed in Pennsylvania, I've actually been to that site.
Crashed,
also.
you mean?
Yeah, there's nothing to see there because, it's just a big hole. But anyhow, people don't realize that flight path that thing took went right over Cleveland.
Oh, it did over Cleveland, yes.
There's no doubt in my mind that if they just wanted to cause mass destruction in another town, they could have hit Cleveland.
But there was so much miscommunication at the time because
that's the one where they took the plane back,
at
right?
first, they thought that the plane had actually landed in Cleveland, which it hadn't. I mean, there was a news agency. I don't know if it was one of the local news agencies there in Cleveland that they knew that this plane was not taking its regular flight path, and they actually thought that it landed in Cleveland, but it didn't. That's where it turned and went back towards. And they suspected that it was probably going to try to hit the U.S. Capitol.
Yeah, and they said the one actually for the Pentagon they thought was for the White House. But the White House, they said it was a foggy morning, and they didn't think they could even see the White House because of the fog. So I don't know. And I tell you what, it's one of those things like we always see. It's hard to believe, but next year's 20 years.
Yes.
And it seemed like it happened yesterday. Never forget, folks. Never forget. And kids were asking, do you think we'll ever have anything like that again? I said, I think we're having something like that right now. Because to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if it come out in the end that China just released this virus with certain people over here.
Well, there's always going to be conspiracy theorists, and I might even be one of those. But obviously, if you look at certain, if you try to keep an open mind and you look at certain things that happened, just like at the Pentagon, there were no plane parts anywhere around the Pentagon.
Right.
And
the hole doesn't make sense.
The hole was too small for a plane
perfect.
that size. They collected all the video. There was tons of video because the Pentagon obviously is probably one of the most protected buildings, in the country besides maybe the White House or the Capitol. And they had cameras everywhere, yet there was only one view of the plane supposedly going into the Pentagon. They collected all the video from any kinds of cameras, ATM machines, all that across the street. Never saw any of that video. So all of it was kept and it looked more like a cruise missile had gone into into the Pentagon.
Exactly right.
So I don't know about the Twin Towers and all the speculation of whether they could have or should have
the Empire
collapsed.
State Building in the 50s and it still stood.
Yeah, but it wasn't full of fuel and one.
I think.
Well, anyway, we've seen other instances where there have been tremendous fires and buildings don't collapse.
Yes.
So the only thing I would say, and what collapsed building number 7? Building number 7 was the other building that collapsed that was not a big distance away from the
and everybody
trade
cleared
towers.
their businesses out. The insurance had already been already out.
It pancaked on top of itself, just like the World Trade Center.
Imploded is what it did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
no way.
We can.
And for some reason, a lot of people who worked there weren't there.
A lot of businesses pulled out. A lot of people who
That's what I'm saying. We could.
There's a couple really good ones. There's one out on YouTube called Loose Change. You should really, really check it out. And I know you don't like Michael Moore, but he's got Fahrenheit 9/11.
I would never waste my
Forget
time
who the
watching
author was.
anything.
Well,
if you can get past the messenger.
I would say that Michael Moore.
Film. I'm just saying.
Michael Moore is as nutty as we may say he is.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that he brings up that have at least you should evaluate. You should look
Exactly.
at. So,
It's
keep an open mind. But, the bottom line is a lot of people believe to this day that this was an inside job, so to speak.
Indeed.
That we were well aware of the fact that this was going to happen, or that may even have been orchestrated by our own government.
That's right.
To push through the Patriot Act and to take away more of our freedoms.
They tried to get Kennedy to do this during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and to attack Americans on American soil and blame the Cubans for it, and Kennedy wouldn't have any part of it.
So the bottom line is we know there's a deep state.
Oh, yes.
That's pretty evident. The real question is, does our own government go to those ends in order to control us?
Do the ends justify
course.
the means?
Machiavelli said it best.
Well, but here Dave Hiles says something. I know he's trying to be cute, but I'm gonna get him. Our government would not lie to us. President Trump will not stand for it, and that's the exact reason Kennedy got assassinated.
You got it.
And Trump is
also,
on the.
Trump was not in office
Well,
9/11/2001,
yeah, but
so
Trump-
there's that.
Kennedy wouldn't have had it.
But Trump is, I think, for the truth, and that's why so many people hate him.
Well, and
Because
he's probably
showing you what it's
he's
been
exposed. He's exposed a lot of deep state actors.
Yep.
He's gotten rid of them, and he's been fought every step of the way. So you wonder why, everything that he does when he lets people go, when he fires people, and then there's this violent reaction, mostly from the left, but even the right, because obviously the right is just as deep state as the left.
And I put a post up. Of course, some of my Democrat friends laughed at it, and it was from about a year ago. And Facebook let me know that before I posted it. Are you sure you want to post this?
Yeah,
This
I
is
get
from a
that
year
too.
ago. And
It's like,
anyhow, it was Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson does this like talking tour, and he basically was saying years and years from now, Hillary Clinton will go down as a worst serial killer.
well, there's
in
no doubt
American
about that.
history.
Well, did you hear there was
I tagged you in it.
they had a
Yes.
virtual roundtable discussion earlier in the week with Kamala Harris, and she sort of let slip that
Under the Harris administration.
yeah, under the Harris administration, this is what we're going to do, and then she had to backtrack and say the Biden-Harris administration.
Did she
Yes.
really?
Yeah. So it's in the works. So
Oh, for
just remember when
sure.
you go out and you pull that lever that you vote red.
I'm still telling you, if you voting made a difference, they wouldn't let you do it.
Someone better be taste testing his food.
He's got to.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you though, and I know you guys will laugh at me, but I'd say Kamala Harris probably would pull more votes than Joe Biden.
I agree.
Well, I don't know.
She's
I
think
who
that's
they're
what they're
voting
doing.
for.
I don't think
if
so.
They're voting for
I
him.
think
I agree.
Kamala Harris, but I think that she's always been Barack Obama's choice. It's just that he had to figure out a way in order to be able to slide her in there, and so I think that this has been the plan from the beginning. But any way you look at it, I think that I guess we'll ultimately have to see how this plays out. But it has been said now that we've gotten, I forget what the date is, the 23rd or the 26th of September would be perfect for Biden to get coronavirus. So we're saying right now we're predicting that Biden will get the coronavirus around the 26th of September. He will not be able to attend any of the debates because of the coronavirus. And so that will be his excuse for not having to debate Donald Trump, because he can't put three sentences together without sticking his foot in
So
his
we're
mouth.
going to call him Corona Joe.
Corona Joe.
Corona
He will
Joe.
get the coronavirus around the 26th of September, and he will be out and unable to get out of his basement, where he will have to,
Basement dweller.
he will have to stay there
Quarantine.
for 14 days.
Yeah.
He'll miss all the important debates.
I don't doubt that you're right.
Well,
Yeah.
let's
We'll
talk
see.
about that here a minute, because Trump is, and that's one of my
Corona
topics.
Joe.
Trump's out having his campaign rallies, and they're calling him reckless.
Oh,
and all
he's
that.
been vilified.
And Joe is still
In the basement.
In the basement, yeah. But that
Yeah.
might be the best place for him.
Well, every time he comes out, he sticks his foot in his
Heat
mouth.
wave, don't embarrass yourself. He puts Biden and Harris have my vote, dude. You're embarrassing yourself.
Well, no, I mean, Heat Wave has always been a Democrat. He has.
So, I have to
Charlie
decline
get
my
the phone call.
phone.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
there you go.
and he, it's a vote. Everybody's entitled to vote their choice. So I'm not going to say that it's a smart vote, but I think that at least he has that right to vote the way that he. I just hope you can go vote in person, or maybe he's already voted.
Well, heat wave, don't throw your vote away. That's all I'm gonna tell
I think you are throwing your vote away.
Yeah, heat wave. Come on, man.
And this is from our communist at the end of the table.
Yeah,
here.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, heat wave.
I'm not a commie, but if you would, the true definition of comrade, I'm certainly I am.
You're
We're all
comrade.
friends, are we not, comrades?
Comrades.
Heat
Yeah.
wave.
Yes.
Comrades in arms
Yes.
You
and legs.
Heat wave, you disappoint me, brother. That's all I got.
No,
say.
I've known heat wave's always been a moderate, we'll say, but he also is very.
Moderate.
Well, no, he's also
He's nuts if he's doing
he's sort
what
of
he
like
says
him.
he's
I mean,
doing.
I think he's for guns. I think that he.
I'm for guns.
There are good.
Then you can't vote for Biden. He
I
wants
was
to take
gonna
them
say,
all
I
I
was
was
away.
going to vote for Biden.
Well, I don't.
The
What, you wanna
minute
get
Biden ever
pistol
said
whipped?
a boo about a mask mandate,
I
that's the end of him. All credibility went out the window. They're done.
Yeah,
by
I don't think
That's it.
that. I don't think that. I guess the bad thing is if you look at every Democrat in recent times, what they've said and what they've done are two different things. And when you look at Trump, at least he's been the only president since probably Ronald Reagan that actually has done what he said he was going to do, and that's
agree with that.
the problem.
Mickey Green-Lair says if they go into office, Biden would suddenly be unfit, and then they would usher in Harris and
Right.
probably Bernie as her vice president.
Very possibly.
It's simply
Very possibly.
a battering ram to knock down the White House doors.
Yep.
This is going.
That's
get
very
me in
good point.
trouble
How
with
is
my
Harris
liberal
even gonna be
family
the
and friends.
president?
Get used to it, Joy. Get used to it. Because,
Well, I mean, Harris would
Mickey Green, get used to it.
Harris
to
would
it.
become president because of Biden stepping down.
Even if she isn't qualified to be the president?
Well, she is qualified.
She-
I don't think
She's as
She's-
qualified. Let me put it
she's-
this way: she's as qualified
qualified
as
as
Barack
Barack
Obama.
Obama.
That's right. Now, how qualified is that? Okay,
Yeah,
she is
she's-
as qualified
I
as
was
Barack
thinking
Obama.
Her parents met at Berkeley
Yeah.
University, and that's where her
She
parents
Imagine
has
met.
that.
a California birth. I have no problem with her being,
Qualified.
Everybody's worried. Everybody's throwing that out there. Oh, Nancy Pelosi will be the president, but I don't think so. No.
No, I don't. I don't think so either. I think that.
I hope not.
Well, I mean, there has been speculation that if this gets locked up for several weeks or months, that Pelosi would be acting president. Most people agree that would not happen.
Yes, heat wave. Everyone has the right to their own opinion,
That's
even
right.
if it's wrong.
Even if it's wrong, anyway. Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't.
But I would say this. I would say that as far as
You worry me.
yeah, well, I guess the problem here is this. We know what we have with Trump, and as much as sometimes he says things that we don't like what he says, he can be abrasive, he can be arrogant, he can be condescending.
What you see is what you get, though.
We do know that we still are free, relatively free, that we can say what we want to say, that everybody, has input. I'm not so sure that would happen if the Dems get control again, because I just have a feeling that we would be, there would be a lot of things that we see as free that would be taken away from us. And that's what I fear the most. And you don't come back from that.
Heat wave, get ready to pay more taxes.
Well, there's no question
Get
about
ready
that.
to pay more tax. If you like paying taxes, buddy, you go ahead
Like
and vote
3 or
for
4
Biden
trillion, he
all
wants
day.
to raise the taxes on everybody, doesn't he?
Well, and here's what's funny. If anybody follows Dan Bongino at all, Dan Bongino used to be a Secret Service guy for the Trump or for Obama. And what's funny is he's got this show out, and if you can look it up, Dan Bongino show, he has a bit last week where he had Biden versus Biden debating himself. And he would take things that Biden said, like on taxes. Well, we're just going to tax people that make over so many millions of dollars. And then the next clip shows Biden says, you bet we're going to raise your taxes. It doesn't make,
Now we're going to take
anybody-
your guns, and we're
yeah,
going
yeah,
the problem that
wake
people
up.
don't realize is you keep hearing this thing, which is a common talking point from the Dems and from the liberals and the progressives all the time about, well, we will just tax the rich more because they need to pay their fair share. The problem with this is if you took all the billionaires and all the millionaires in this country,
there's not enough of them. You're
and
going to
you
have to tax the
and you
middle
took
class.
every single penny, not just tax them more, every single penny they owned, all their properties, all their business dealings, everything. If you took all their money, you would run the government for less than 6 months. So if you took all their money, the billionaires, the millionaires, and you can't have enough money to run the government for more than 6 months, you're going to have to take money from you and me. You know, the common everyday man will pay more in taxes, and we pay too much as it is.
I'm not too concerned about the tax thing. I'm more concerned about normalizing pedophilia.
Well, and California has basically made it easier now to get away with that.
Yep.
Yeah, they've just
I'll have to
introduced new
agree.
laws.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that's
dumb-
one of their major platforms that's going on with the
Yep.
Dems right
That's
now,
very
and
sad.
I'm not okay
Heat
with
wave,
that.
you like
no,
little
no,
kids.
no.
So, that's not okay with me. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know that it's actually part of their platform.
Biden is always touching children.
Well,
Yes.
yeah.
He's creepy. You look right at him. You
So
yeah.
that's not okay
Well,
with
but
me.
they've, there's been speculation, about the womanizing of Trump, although not young girls. But I mean, we obviously know Bill Clinton has been seen.
They're finding droves of children locked in containers that all
That-
these
that's one thing-
Democrats
about
are
that.
That is
You
one
notice
thing that I
that?
can say about Donald
on
Trump.
islands,
He has
Finding kids everywhere.
He's done more to stop a lot of this human trafficking than any other president. But just another reason why a lot of these deep state actors don't want him president.
And Tom Hanks this week, I don't know if anybody caught this or not.
Erased all his tweets.
He erased all his tweets from the last 2 or 3 years, and he had some very odd tweets.
Yeah.
Because he would tweet like clothing
And so
in
does
places.
Chrissy Teigen did that. She erased like 4,000
Yeah.
tweets.
Yeah.
So they know
So
that
what's up with
it's coming. But of course, he now lives in Greece, but he still could be.
Yes, he's
So
a Grecian citizen
why are they
now.
running if they got nothing to hide?
Right.
But Greece, we still can go nab him in
Oh, we
Greece.
can
so-
I believe
We
Greece
still
is
gonna
non-extradition.
find you.
That's why they're. Well, I mean, no, that's why they're.
It
there.
doesn't
But
matter.
I'm pretty sure Greece is non-extradition.
He's still a dual citizen. We can still come nab you.
Well, and
We'll
it's-
get you, Mr. Hanks. We'll get you.
Isn't that crazy we're saying that?
But I
You're
mean,
gonna
it's
find out a lot.
ridiculous.
See, all-
Your singers, your actors, your
no,
stars,
all-
people you idolize.
Hold on. All this has been on Q. The QAnon had this up.
But it's
A year ago.
ridiculous.
Well, I think
And
this
it's
goes
now,
back.
It's
this,
all starting to come
this goes
to
back to
fruition.
WikiLeaks. I think that a lot of this, WikiLeaks knew, for months and months and months.
So
Hello there. Our magician is in the house.
Yep, and you got plenty of time to get set up. We'll move you over here when it's time. So about 9:15,
But, I
Magi
mean-
Jake is.
We got
in
some
the
chairs right here. You
house.
can pull up a
Yep,
chair and
you sit down,
have a
relax
seat.
for a little bit. I'm glad you
Out
found it.
here Chasing children.
Yeah.
And they want to normalize this and say that it's some kind of like psychiatric thing and
Right.
teach it in schools.
Have you
and
seen
stuff.
the little
Like, what
dolls
is
they market
that?
in Japan for
Oh
therapy
no, they're
dolls?
starting to make them here in America.
seen them?
Like
You know what
in
I'm
the
talking
little
about?
buttons that you have to
They're
push
like
on
they're
their
little children. They look
downstairs
4,
area.
5, 6 years old, and they're dressed in very provocative outfits, and their mouths and other orifices of their body are made to look like blow-up dolls. You know what I mean? Like what I mean, I'm not making this up at all. And Japan markets this. They're marketed as to give the pedophiles something to do instead of acting on it with real human children. They will use this instead.
Heat wave, you said you were going to be
that's-
president.
that's-
Well, I'd vote for you
that's
for president before I'd
asinine.
vote for Biden. I would vote for you. before
Only
I'd
if he
vote for
wears
Biden.
his mask.
And he said Sidney Alexis Phillips for president. Laugh out loud.
Oh, yeah.
Make
My
a
wife
great
would
Oh,
make a
she'd get
great
my vote.
president.
Sydney Alexis Phillips is not old enough to be president. I don't know if you know how old I am,
I think you have
Heatwave,
to be
but I am only
35, don't ya?
27.
He just,
you think
he
you
just
gotta be
kind of
35.
You have to be 30.
insulted you there, didn't he?
Yeah,
You got to be 35.
I'm
That's
not
true.
old
Yeah.
enough to be
No,
president.
you got to be
sweetie.
35 to be
But
president.
Thank you.
Come
I
on,
appreciate
Heatwave.
it.
I'm not quite old enough to be president.
Ding, 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 ding.
Anyway,
Bullcrap meter going off.
I'm
Bullcrap.
not old enough to be president, sweetie. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, let's move on here. And I'm going to just say this again. Where are the militias? Where are the rednecks? Because look what happened this weekend with those 2 L.A. sheriffs. You walk up to a police car.
And you're just going to bap a cop?
And they just shoot.
What
both
happened to
Well,
the days where we
I mean,
respected first
what was more
responders?
insulting was the fact that
the-
they protested at the hospital
At
and
the
told them
emergency
they
room.
hope they died.
Yeah, the emergency
my
room.
God.
There's protesters there saying, where's the Hell's Angels at out there? I mean, I'm serious.
Time to be cleaning up stuff.
I've been saying this for the last month, but the rednecks, the militias, the
Doomsday
bikers,
preppers,
they are going to arise here. And it's just a matter of what is. I thought it was going to happen in Bethel a couple months ago, but it didn't happen. But it's going to happen, and when it happens, it's on.
Oh, boy.
I'm trying to think who actually came out and said, well, now you realize that if you don't vote for Biden, that after the election, there's going to be even more and worse violence. So they're almost saying, you got to vote for Biden or heck is going to...
I mean, there used to be a time. What was it? I remember, even when I was a child, 10 years ago, when being
You're still a child.
Yeah. I mean, even 10 years ago, when being a cop, a firefighter, a soldier was a respected profession.
Kids wanted to do that.
You wanted to grow up and be one of these kinds of people.
They were heroes.
People respected these jobs.
Yes, ma'am. I couldn't
know?
imagine being a police officer right now in this day and all
Yeah.
this. I mean, you'd be worried. You'd
People
be worried
walk
that somebody
around
walking
and
around.
have these stupid T-shirts and posters that are like "F the police"
Yeah,
and like they egg the firehouse and
all that kind of
or
stuff.
walking around shooting at cops and throwing bricks at police cars.
I think cops are going to have like a PTSD.
It's ridiculous.
Like people coming back from military.
People. You would think of soldiers coming back from wartime with PTSD. Now it's like you just go to the office and you come home with PTSD. It's ridiculous.
It is. I am in complete agreement there.
Just let everybody know something that's coming up this weekend. I want to say this now before I forget, but I think it's this Friday night, and you'll have to check me on the website to double make sure about this. But Big Daddy Weave, the Christian rock band Big Daddy Weave, is going to be at Cedar Creek Flea Market.
Is this on the stage?
The way I understand, it's a live concert. I've had this drilled into my head about 10 times because I keep asking, is it on the screen like everything else?
Right.
And
they're going to be live in person.
They're going to be live in person with a screen behind them.
Well, the screen behind them is probably for effects.
All bands do that. Yeah, it's not a big deal. But anyhow, so if you're interested in that, go to Cedar Creek Flea Market's website and check that out. That's going to be this Friday.
Kim, is this all the paraphernalia that you've been mailed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why I brought.
Well, go ahead and show everybody what you got here.
Hold them here.
I'll hold them up.
All right, now here's what I want interesting about this. See, these are addressed to me, but also or current resident. This is what gets me, okay? Now, these are about Biden. It's like they've moved, embraced the policies of the radical left.
And he has.
It's got Ilya Omar on it.
Yes. And then this one is the Democrats have moved way too far left, too far, and that worries me.
Yeah, I got AOC.
Well, let me read some of the things on the back here. Joe Biden, 228.20. If you elect me, your taxes are going to be raised.
Now, wait a minute. Is this a Trump mailer or is this a Biden mailer?
Text Trump.
Okay.
This number.
All right. Okay.
Citizenship for 11 million undocumented folks. This is if you vote for Biden. In an interview, Joe Biden answered yes, absolutely, when asked if he would be redirecting police funding to other causes. Biden Sanders unveiled progressive unity platform. So here's the thing, folks. He's not even going to be president anyhow because he's unfit. But that's what you're going to get. The Democrats have moved way too far to the left, and that worries me. Mm-hmm. There's your normal Kim right there.
Normal Kim?
It does worry me. It does. 'Cause I am a Democrat. I am a liberal. But by no means do I agree with this. Hogwash is going
Higher
on.
taxes, less police funding, amnesty.
For the 11 million illegal aliens, he wants to give them voting rights.
There aren't 11 million. There are 40 million illegal.
Oh, well, they were at 11.
Well, they've always said 11. They've said 11 for the last 30 years.
Yeah, you're
the
right
Democrats
about that.
are moving to have not speaking English as a formal disability by the Social Security Administration.
Right. So if you speak something other than English, you could be considered disabled.
If you can't speak English.
If you can't speak
right.
English.
If you can't speak English, it would be considered a disability.
Think about how many people will
now be disabled.
mess with that. Yeah.
I don't even know what say about
This
that
is basically just the
one.
same
Yeah,
stuff.
Green New Deal. He wants to see the fossil fuels. He's wanting to cut jobs like so many hundreds of thousands.
But
of
of
jobs.
course, even though he
this
said
is
this
what's
in the
interesting.
past, they will deny that he ever said it. You know.
Now, I never asked for this, but they mailed me anyway 2 absentee ballot applications to get them. And I also have one from the Board of Elections that said you can vote 4 weeks early, vote by absentee, or of course you can still vote in person on election day. So if anybody was worried
But see,
about that.
I have no problem with them sending you an application. I have a problem
I got
with the
3.
states. Well, I have a problem with the states that are actually sending ballots
Yes.
without
And it
without
says
you
to current
proving who you
resident,
are.
Right. It says to current resident or whoever lives there. You know
Those
what I
are
mean?
just applications.
the where it has Trump endorsing everybody should vote.
But I mean, we've got
absentee.
6 states in the union where you receive a ballot, and it may not even be, you might not be living there anymore.
Right.
So those ballots
That's
are
what I
just
mean.
floating around out there.
Right, and
Yeah.
so if you 2 or 3 the same address,
And that's the other thing, that the misconception that people have, and that is this is a national election. This is for the President of the United States.
Yes.
But every election is individual. It's controlled by the states. So whether you're in the state of Nevada or the state of Ohio or the state of Mississippi, the federal government does not control those elections. The individual states control those elections, and how they distribute the ballots and all the qualifications to get on the ballot, all that is done by individual states. So there's no federal, there is a federal elections commission, but there is no federal laws that dictates,
regulated
other
it.
than when it comes down to the actual electors and how they cast their votes.
We got a funny comment on here. Bruce W. Stauffer, I was watching, and he says, are Biden's handlers keeping him 6 feet away from people because of COVID-19 or to stop him from sniffing more victims? Asking for a friend.
Well,
Harry Hartman and Brenda Barnes.
see, I just
are
think
watching.
Biden is just
How you
ridiculous.
doing?
it will be
It's
interesting to see if
it's ridiculous.
this COVID affects Biden around September the 26th.
Everybody
seems to be-
hit
That's
the
the thought.
share button right now. Everybody hit the share button. Help us out there. a little
Share
bit.
the show.
Share the show, please. Share the show.
Have you noticed there's been quite some turnaround in people switching parties?
Yes.
Like I've noticed that a lot of it,
Yeah.
because the people.
You mean
it's-
people are switching to Republican?
Yeah.
Yeah, although
Yes.
in a federal, for the presidential election, you don't have to actually be a registered Republican
Right.
to
Right.
vote for the president of the United States, Donald Trump. You can be a Democrat. You can take a Democrat ballot. Of course,
there is no
there is no
Democrat.
Democrat
It's
ballot
just
in
a
the
ballot.
election.
It's
just the ballot,
Yeah,
but
it's
yeah.
only the primaries where you have Democrat and Republican
Right.
ballots.
Are people having like parties, like party reveals? Like we have gender reveal
Oh, like
parties.
I'm going to be a poll worker.
Speaking of gender
At,
reveals,
You're gonna
we
be a
had
poll
a
worker?
At the
wildfire
polls,
strike
They
out
have an
because of
advertisement
a
at the
gender
bottom.
reveal in California.
So what are the qualifications to be a poll worker?
I'm sure just being a citizen and having a valid
You got to wear
ID
like 6-inch
and whatnot.
stilettos.
Not that kind of poll, you weirdo.
Wait a minute, I like that. There you go. I gotta have the fist there. That was
Is
good.
that the kind with the
That was
goldfish in
good.
the bottom?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh man, it just threw me.
Jared
I had
said
a
the same
reply.
thing to me
Now I
last
can't.
night. He did the same thing. Oh, you are you? What are you going to
Now, but I do have to ask a question for poll workers. Do they drug test you?
I don't
I
think
wouldn't
so,
think
but
so.
they
Why would they
really
drug
should.
test you? But I'm sure that there are strict restrictions as far as
Oh,
coronavirus.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
so they're
sure.
probably going to take your temperature.
No, but they really
they're gonna
should
ask you
do
a certain
some
set of
kind of
questions.
like regulation of poll workers, because like how do they make sure that you're checking information correctly and not just letting
Well,
in
they don't,
anyone you
but there are an
want?
equal number of each party at the polls.
Supposedly,
so
yeah, yes.
they're supposed
How
to be
are
equal
you making
representation.
sure that you're verifying this information? Like, what if you're a drunk and you're just like, okay, come in?
Well, no,
and,
it's
like,
all in Ohio.
in Ohio.
I must say, in Ohio, we do have. You have to. They swipe your driver's license.
Yes.
So they do verify that, and they're very strict about it. At least they are
Last
in Clinton
time
County.
I voted, I used like my banking information and
Well,
like
that's
a
because
piece
you
of
did- you-
mail or
you
something, and
didn't
I didn't
have-
have
yeah, but
a
you didn't-
license.
But still, they at least stopped you and they verified that. Now, in California and a lot of states, you don't even have to present any ID. You just walk in
I
and you
know.
vote.
I can't get over
I
that.
lived
Yeah.
there.
They look in Sabana. They look your name up in a book and they find you and then they
Yeah,
check
and that's
your
well. Now Now Wilmington now has been more automated. They use an iPad and so they,
of course,
everything's generated digitally, but still, and they give you a receipt, and then you have to take the receipt to another person that gives you the ballot. So it's very
another person
complicated,
and another
I guess.
person.
But it works, and at least you know that people that are eligible to vote are voting, and people that aren't are they have to. I think that people that you question whether they can vote or not, they get a provisional ballot that will be counted if they, at a later date.
At a later date.
Mickey Green says, "Why can't we vote for the fit instead of a party?" Well, you can, because the general election is not by
you vote for whoever you want.
Remember when mudslinging was so frowned upon that if a candidate did, they would lose votes. I want to know what the candidate is representing, not what a candidate hates on another candidate. It feels like sleight of hand. Don't pay attention to my weak platform. They believe in this. Let's yell at them. Yeah, a lot of times, and
but that's politics.
I've always agreed with that though. Like if I've interviewed people coming in for positions, don't tell me. Tell me what you're going to do. Tell me what you're going to do to make things better. And I do want to try to get in touch with the sheriff's candidates and try to have them on here one morning. Probably have them separate mornings, but because there is Leonard Sines, who I know Leonard, and I know Stanforth too. But Leonard,
that's Fayette County.
Yeah, Fayette County Sheriff.
Right.
Leonard is, he used to work for me when I was mayor of Sabina, and Leonard's a great guy. I like Leonard, but.
He's not well known, though, is he?
Well, he's not as well known as you think, but I do see a lot of signs out there. And I
also...
also...
play on words, Charlie?
Yeah, it is. And also, I would say this, that he's kind of been a little negative in what I've seen him post. And rather than telling us what he's going to do, it's been, how bad the other guy is. And I think that's one of the things I'll try to help him straighten up on. Tell us what you're going to do for Fayette County. Not, we want to look to the future. What's been done's been done. Dave Hiles, does this morning's show have a disclaimer before each show, such as our opinions are for entertainment only, asking for a friend? This would be considered a news/opinion show.
Yeah, sort of like
tell you some
I
news,
thought that was
sort of like Sean Hannity, right?
Obvious.
Yeah, but you have to explain everything to Hiles. He's a Democrat.
I was like,
he's a Democrat. I got your back on that one, Hiles.
You got to spell everything out for him.
No, we appreciate Dave actually
and
watching
we've asked
the show.
Dave to be on the show.
Yeah.
I was like, we invite you on all the time.
That's right.
You don't want to come on
Well, he
the
doesn't
show.
want to come on the show because
he's afraid we gang up on him.
Yes, that's about the man. But we're trying,
wait a minute.
to protect you.
That's why we have Kim down on that end and me on this end.
That's true. I could be a buffer.
Let me know when that show happens, because I'll have to
that would be very entertaining.
I'll have to
get the popcorn ready.
We've actually worn Kim down. If we had David come in and he was on that end, we would eventually probably erode
You've not worn
him.
me down.
We would get him to switch
idiocy
too.
that's happening in the world.
You've seen the light.
Yeah. Well, anybody with any brain cells.
Dave Hiles
should
says,
see the light.
"Newsflash, opinion, manure spreader." Well, Dave, we understand that you spread manure. We do understand that.
I don't know.
And Dave, we get that, but we're just telling it like it
No,
is.
we definitely invite Dave to come in.
I'd love to.
And be on the show.
It'd be great.
And we won't gang up on him.
Yeah, if anybody's out there,
I don't think it's him that
Besides,
needs the protection.
We'd even let Kim sit at the table with you, and that way you've got two equally balanced. I might even sit out. This would be interesting.
Oh, no, you couldn't sit out. No.
I'll wear my referee's outfit.
Yeah, where?
Because that's what will happen there. Let's move on.
He says, I still love you guys. Well, like you sometimes.
Heck, you could have stopped and saw us at the yard sale and just
Well,
drove
that's
on
true.
I was
by.
gonna say, you
Yeah,
drove
he did
past
turn
the yard
by.
sale. You drove past the barbecue.
That's
you
right.
Didn't
He
stop
did drive past the
anytime.
barbecue.
He's
I
kinda
mean,
nosy,
what's
isn't he?
up, bro?
No, he's. I think that he looks at us with intrigue.
Patty Moore Gillian is watching also.
He's probably wondering how I don't explode sitting over here
I'm
sometimes.
like, what's up?
All right, well,
You feed us.
let's move on to another topic here. The NFL did start this week, and there were some exciting games. I mean,
Although each time, like for instance, Sunday night, had 30% fewer viewers.
Well, I'm sure.
And
People are ticked off.
Thursday night, once again, about 30% fewer viewers. So I think that what we're probably looking at across the board is there's about 30% fewer people watching the NFL because of the protests and the things that are written on the field and the things that are written on their helmets.
Yep.
And
It's a bunch of malarkey is what it is.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm with you on all that.
Because we had broadcasts going on.
But it's also, but here's the deal. It's the NFL. I mean, yeah, you want to make a stand and all that, but really, all you're doing is hurting yourself.
Really? It's the National Football League. I mean, the whole encompasses America.
But they're hurting themselves with taking these. They need to be there for the pastime.
They're hurting their
entertainment.
brand. Yeah, but that's every professional sports team now. I mean, the
NBA,
baseball? The NBA, the NBA has absolutely killed themselves.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I did know baseball.
Yeah.
I watch sports to be entertained, not for politics. If I want to see politics and
you
get
tune
your
into
opinion,
the morning show.
I can watch news.
I think the fans are what makes the game, you know?
Or some kind of political talk show, not sports. So
the
not
NBA,
the time, not the place,
NBA,
not the
like a lot of
climate.
our Congress people, have been influenced unduly by China. So they probably would be just as well off moving to China.
Todd Blocker, you should come on the show.
You should. I'd like to meet this fella.
Kim announces alignment with Michael Moore and David Hiles. Who knew again? Laugh out loud.
Well, Todd is a big Cleveland Browns fan. He's.
I'm sorry,
and
Todd.
Unfortunately, yeah. Well, I mean, the Bengals.
sorry.
The Bengals looked pretty impressive.
The Bengals
The
lost.
The
Tom Brady's moved to the Buccaneers. They also lost.
Right. My Cowboys lost.
I don't know.
Dak Prescott, why he?
The Redskins, who are now just going by football team, won.
Yeah.
The
Where's
Bengals.
this fella from?
The Bengals lost in typical Bengals fashion too. They can tie the game with no time on the clock.
Just have to kick a field goal.
They just got to kick a 30 short yardage field goal, and the kicker pulls a hammy as he tries to kick it, and it goes off the right. I mean, it's such a Charlie Brown Lucy. Now I'm sure Joe Burrow at that time's going, oh my God, they're going to want me to kick too. Because no one else wants to be a winner.
I mean, he did look great from what they said.
No one else.
It really sucks when you're like that good and then someone screws it up for you.
You need to get Joe Burrow kicking because he's going to have to do it all, I think. So, Browns on opening day since coming back 120-1. Bruce Stauffer says, well, and it's a big battle of Ohio this Thursday night. The Bengals and the Browns will be on TV. So.
But who's going to watch that?
I'm going to because I like the Bengals.
Well, I mean, but
Tony?
you're in Ohio. But I'm
Mancuso.
saying if you look at the rest of the country, they're going to yawn. Who cares about the
wait
Browns and the
wait a
Bengals?
second.
Tony Mancuso.
Wait a second. Time out. Hold on. How do I say this? And I don't like saying this because Jake bought us a grandma today, and I'm afraid I'm going to offend his grandma over there. I think we've probably already offended her numerous times.
Probably.
But anyhow,
we should have told you not to bring your grandma.
here's the thing.
I'd bring my grandma if I
but
could.
you can't make this stuff up. This is an actual Twitter thing that happened last week. I think it was like Thursday, maybe, of last week. Odell Beckham, the Cleveland Browns. This was like on the what do they call that when it's on trending on Twitter.
I follow the trending hashtag.
Did you see what it was last week? Odell Beckham. Oh gosh, I don't even want to say this.
Okay.
Likes to be number 2'd on.
Yeah, I saw that. No. I did not contribute to that trending hashtag because
wait a minute.
I felt dirty.
He likes to be
this was a tweet.
On.
It was a trending hashtag.
What is going on with these NFL football players?
I felt like this was like a weird thing to contribute to because I usually do contribute to the trending hashtags because it makes you trend on
Do you think
Twitter.
that he just did that for? Did he just do that for effect, or do you really think?
Todd says, "Cover your ears, Grandma."
Remember, there was a player a few years ago that liked to be number 1 Don, and like that was trending.
Well, number 1 makes more sense than number 2.
Todd Walker, where are you from?
Number 2.
Yeah.
He's from Beaver Creek.
Beaver Creek.
Leave him alone.
Hey, yeah. That's
Doesn't
where I'm
he have
from.
like a sports bar or something?
That's where I'm from. Well, no,
Tooties. He likes
Tooties
going
is
to
where
Tooties.
they hang out. They've got
Brandon
a
Reed. Todd Blocker, since you're a Cleveland Brown fan, do you like what Odell Beckham likes too?
Mickey said Todd is used to disappointment.
Yeah.
a masochist. You have to be a masochist to be a
Weapons are
Cleveland Browns
drawn.
fan, right?
Kimber Chapman. And I'm not making that up.
Are
about
they
the Twitter
are they
thing.
still
That's
doing that?
true.
It's a real thing. That was really trending.
Now, last year they had these Budweiser coolers, and they had them locked down. And if they
and then
won,
if they won,
they opened
everyone
up the cooler.
got a free Bud Light.
I don't think the cooler's ever been opened.
No, it did get opened.
Oh, did it?
They won one game.
Who'd they beat?
The Browns or the Bengals?
The Browns.
The Browns. If they won
trying to
one
think.
game,
They won more than
everybody
one.
got
Did they?
a free Bud Light.
Well, did they beat the
Xenia, he
Bengals?
says.
Probably.
Xenia,
Xenia,
Beaver
yeah.
Creek. Yeah, same area. There you go. He's been out to my car show before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well-
Well, I grew up in Beaver Creek.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember who they beat.
I almost bought you a shirt the other day. It was a really nice shirt, but I don't think it would have fit. It was only a large.
Yeah, that wouldn't have
probably
fit.
need an
There's
extra.
a Beaver Creek golf shirt like yours,
Yeah.
$1
Wow.
for $1. And I didn't
Sydney
buy
coulda
it 'cause
wore it.
I didn't think it would
Yeah,
be
I
big
totally
enough.
would have wore that.
Well, you wear those
It
lightning
actually was a
shirts.
nice shirt. It was.
Those Tampa Bay Lightning shirts.
Todd
to,
Blocker,
like, work out
Jets.
in.
What's he talking about?
Jets.
What are you talking about?
Is their
Jets.
football team the
Yeah.
Jets?
Oh, the Jets. That's who they
Yeah,
beat.
Oh, that's who
Oh,
they beat.
okay.
Oh, okay. He probably
Yeah, they aren't
remembers
any
that.
good either.
Yeah. Cleveland only won one game last year. I was thinking they won more than one. Is that
That's why
right?
he remembers.
They said the
Jets.
Bud Light had turned by the time they got to drink it. Mickey's-
It was all vinegar.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. We might have to get Mickey Green Layer on here sometimes because she's got some nice.
She's
little,
really funny. Too. I went to school with
Some
her.
zingers.
She's got some zingers.
She does indeed.
Well, you know, my Cowboys didn't fare any better this past.
They had a tough task going into L.A. And you know what was weird about that? They said they may not even have the game because of the fires. But it's an indoor stadium. But I guess the smoke and everything is so
It's really
bad.
polluted
Yeah.
the air.
Right.
That it would even
The air.
mess up
I've
an
seen
indoor
pictures.
stadium.
It's still
like Japan
really messed
and China.
up there.
Like everyone wears masks.
Like you
Oh,
might
wait a
have to
minute.
wear a mask.
They have to wear masks anyway.
still because not because COVID, because like you can't
Well,
breathe.
that stadium, that's a nice stadium
beautiful.
apparently,
Yeah.
and it's being shared by the
Both LA teams.
yeah,
And then Las Vegas has got a new stadium also.
and that is
Well,
really
that leads
that's
us
phenomenal.
into why the wildfires they happen every year, but it's Trump's fault. They're saying because of
Everything's
global
Trump's
warming.
fault.
You know,
You know, have you noticed like where the wildfires are burning? That none are in Canada.
No,
What? Do you notice that?
well,
Well,
because they don't have global
Okay,
warming in
hang
Canada.
On, hang on a minute.
Trump isn't the president there.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
But no, wait a minute. I learned something today because I was listening to Mark Levin on the way over.
Okay.
And I guess the Democratic administration clear back in the Clinton days put in some rules for the wildfires out.
You
or
talk
for
about
the-
clearing brush?
Well, they don't clean up.
Nope.
Yeah, there's no clearing of brush. Plus, there's no logging.
Right.
No logging anymore.
So there's a lot more dead brush,
Yep.
a lot more tinder.
And no, they're not allowed to have. Remember, and I remember this. They used to have preventive fires. They would start fires
Yeah.
places to stop a bigger fire.
Yeah.
Right.
And they don't have those anymore either.
Like
Well,
fire-
because it's
fire
not
breaks.
environmentally sound.
And I didn't realize this. I also heard this week, but I'm not really sure. I assume it's true. But is Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is he Nancy Pelosi's nephew?
Yes.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah.
And what else is
All these
accurate is that we are listening
incestual
to
relationships.
WZAA 106.9
9 o'clock.
LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio.
Ma-
This is the Morning Zoo.
Magi
9
Jake
o'clock.
is
And
coming
it's
up.
15
9
minutes.
o'clock.
15 minutes.
15 minutes
but
he's on the air.
Why don't we want to get him up here? Let's get him up here and just talk a little bit.
All right. Well, I'm gonna.
How much
I'm
time
gonna
do you
get
need
my.
to set up?
I'm gonna get my seat. All right.
2
so
minutes?
I'm
Well, go ahead and
come on-
set
come
up.
on.
Then after you're set up, sit down and grab a microphone.
Yeah.
You
Well,
can
now
use,
he's-
you can use this whole side of the table over here. Look good. Will that work?
You done with your-
Because we got the
I want to hang on.
video
to
right
I
there.
think these are going to be historic someday. I'm hanging on.
Well,
You know
hang
what I
on to him.
mean?
Yeah. Historic. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I
Historic.
think so. Yeah, this is one of like the most biggest elections. Well, obviously in
Don't
history.
And you
Sorry
can
about
show him how to.
That's what
work
Tim
his
was doing.
microphone.
Kim was doing to mine. He's got a big old case. He's also got a dog. Oh, that's your dog.
Oh, that's
She
our
was
dog.
sleeping over there the whole time. I couldn't believe it.
You can bring your stuff over here. I mean, if that'll help you. we'll have you use that side of the table. And like I said, we got Magi Jake all the way from Lynchburg, right?
Lynchburg, Ohio.
Home of Dusty Curry. You guys know Dusty?
No.
You guys know Dusty Curry? Lynchburg, Ohio, Dusty Curry. He just bought the Fifth Third Bank up there and is going to move up there. He lives out in a real nice subdivision at the end of a long lane, big house in the back. I can't think of the name of it.
I thought Lynchburg was like famous for the sunny side and mud puppies.
Lynchburg, Mud Puppies is closed now.
That's how long I've been.
I think Sunnyside. Is the Sunnyside still open?
I would assume.
Don't know.
That's got to be a staple in their town like the Crowbar was in Sabina. I would think.
Richard Keach. I'm a Cleveland fan, but I turned off all football games when I saw Browns kneeling, disrespecting our veterans.
Yep. Done.
Well, here's the deal on that. And this is where the NFL and Colin Kaepernick and his boys didn't do a very good job. They could have got the same point across and actually said it, but instead they do what they did, and now they think everybody says that's disrespecting the flag, which it is. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, according to them, it's all about the police deal. Well, that's fine. Then figure out a different way.
To protest then, and
And it's like the Star Spangled Banner. A lot of teams aren't even coming out for it, and
that's what they should do.
I'm fine with that.
Play that first, and then everybody come out.
Keep them stupid guys back, because then there's no controversy.
That's right.
You can start setting stuff up if you need to, huh? Oh, you're already set. Well, come over and sit down then. We'll get you on here. We'll talk about some positive stuff and sell this crazy politics stuff. Magi Jake is in the house. Now, Magi Jake, you are the caretaker. Is that right?
Yeah, like I'm a caretaker of a magical mansion.
The magical mansion. But now you've just kind of changed your theme here lately, haven't you?
Yeah, and like with my old theme, I didn't like how dark it was getting. So I was like, yeah, I got to change this so I can talk to more family members.
Right. So you've made it more of a Christian-type magic show now.
Yeah, like a church show in a way.
Like a church show. Well, that's good.
I was reading your post about that.
Because that would give you a lot more opportunities, too, to go perform, because you could go at different churches.
Do you do birthdays or things like that?
Yeah, I do anything anyone wants.
Okay.
Now be careful saying that on the show.
On the show, you better watch out.
Say that.
Be careful saying that on the show.
Things get a little wild here.
I'm just telling you. But any chance we could make Dave Hiles disappear?
No way.
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh.
Because that would be a big favor to some
what
people
would you do
here.
without the heckler? You know, every good crew needs one of them.
Can we make him disappear?
Well, he's not here, so it's kind of a little difficult.
So he's already disappeared. Nice job, Magi Jake. There he is. He's gone.
First trick in the books.
Yeah, there you go. So how long have you been doing magic?
About 7 years now.
About 7 years. Wow. And you perform mostly local here, or have you went far away or anything? Or
like mostly I perform local, but if it's a place like in Kentucky, I do special trips every once in a while.
Okay, cool. Well, like I said, I think definitely if you go with a Christian thing and you have a Christian theme to it, that's going to just open up a ton more performance opportunities for you, especially if you don't have a price. You just go in there and say you just come in for a free will offering or whatever, because a lot of even Christian bands do that. I saw, it wasn't a magician, but I saw a juggler one time actually open at a rock concert. If you remember, you guys you're too young to remember this, and you're probably too young to remember this too, but you remember the band Asia?
No, I don't.
That was part of Yes that was in it, Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Yeah, no.
I watched them up at Hare Arena, and they had a juggler come on. That was a warm-up act. And that would be kind of like the same as you. Like if you found a good Christian group, you could maybe even go tour with them, which that'd be wild.
That'd be really cool.
That would be. And they're out there. It's like I said, this Friday night, and I could maybe get you in contact with those people. One thing I think I like about what I've seen you do in the past, you're better, like I think, traveling around to people and doing like right up front little tricks and stuff in front of them. And they've got that Christian concert out there Friday. They may let you come out and just I don't know if they pay you anything, but you could go out and at least check the concert out and do some magic while you're walking around.
Yeah, if my dad's home in time, he's on a trip right now.
Is he? But that might, Grandma over here. And Grandma, somebody said you can open your ears now. It's
Yeah,
okay.
Todd says you can take the earmuffs back off now.
Joe Eubanks is watching. I'm not sure who that is, but hey, Joe, we appreciate you watching. So I know we're going to start your show here in about 10 minutes or so. Do you have enough room?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say I can always pop out. Probably.
Well,
work better.
either way. Well, here's the thing. Now, you do realize we're on radio also. Mm-hmm. Okay? So I'm going to have to try to describe a little bit what you're doing while you're doing it, or you can do that too.
Yeah, I can do it. I've been studying all week.
Okay. And the only reason I said just because obviously people that are listening on radio can't see. Now, the Facebook Live, they're going to be able to see, and you can see where you're at there. So that'll give you some idea of what your camera angles and range is, because I'm sure you need to know that as a magician. So is there any place that people can go see you? Like I know Andrew Mackin was the one who got me in touch with you. Are you still performing down there at Hillsboro some or not?
Yeah, like I perform at Hillsboro like every once in a while, but not now because of
the corona.
Yep. But when it gets settled down, I'll be at Farm and Home in Hillsboro.
Okay, Farm, Home, and Family, right? Yep. I can never remember the name of that place because they've changed it so many times. It used to be Quality Farm and Fleet. It was Home, Farm, and Fleet. Now it's Farm, Home, and Family or something like that. So, but yeah, so he performs down there quite often, don't you? So that's kind of neat. He can go around the store. I think.
What do you charge to perform? Do you charge, or is it just a donation, or how do you?
Like for churches wise?
No, like how about like a little kid's birthday party or something?
Like for a little kid's birthday party, just 45. Like not too expensive. Like
okay.
I just want to do like I always like. Hey, you don't have to pay me. They're like, but we want to.
Well, I got you a job lined up.
So
all right.
You already got a job.
Without even performing first, I got you a job lined up.
You got a job lined up. There you go.
I'll be honored.
Good. And Billy and Carrie, their little boy, turning 9 years old.
Yeah, I know.
He'll love that.
You're throwing a birthday party for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I think Magi J could go over well there.
Yeah, I
do.
do.
How old is he turning?
9.
9.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you already got your first gig.
How about that
today.
gig?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
When is it? When's the birthday party?
Well, the Saturday, the 4th. I'm hoping.
October 4th.
Yes. October 4th. It's Sunday in the afternoon. I'm sorry. On the 3rd, we have a benefit and poker run that we're doing. We didn't know about. We was going to be. So.
Can you write that down?
I sure. The third, the Sunday the 4th, if that works for you and them and everybody. Yeah.
I can write it down on my list here. Yep, Sunday. Andrew Mackin, Magic Man, About Time, Laugh Out Loud. Shut up, Mackin. Anyhow, Mackin's all right. Mackin, by the way, has a booth at Cedar Creek. And Mackin, I will be contacting you after this show today, because if you're going to Cedar Creek, I want you to pick me up something. All right? I'm going to put you to work. October 4th, what time?
About 3 o'clock.
So everybody's invited, October 4th, 3 p.m., 9-year-old's birthday.
9-year-old's birthday party.
All right.
Okay, probably not too many people or like creepy people. No creepy
people.
Yeah,
well, you just eliminated 3/4 of the population of the minor.
No Democrats, yeah. Hiles, stay away.
Hiles, you're not invited.
Hiles will definitely come. He's got a little granddaughter about same age, I think.
Yeah, hey, Joe Holder, how you doing, Cowboy Joe, watching us? Cowboy, he still has a show here, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Okay, you haven't fired him yet? Just kidding, Joe. Just kidding.
Joe's been doing camera for the Wilmington football games, actually.
Okay. All right. I'm going to put somebody. Kim, does he have your phone number already?
No, but he's got me on Messenger.
There he goes. Kimberly.
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, we're friends on Facebook. Mm-hmm.
I know you are.
Yeah.
I know you are. Okay, so there we go. I got that down for Magi Jake. So like I said, let's see what time it is. 9:10. So we can start this, and we go clear till 10 o'clock, Magi. But you can take 20 minutes, half hour, or all 45. We don't care. Okay. So don't feel like you're under a time limit other than 10 o'clock. All right. So does that mic stand work over there? I mean, do you need a mic stand, or you gonna be okay?
Can I use a mic stand if it's
Is
okay?
that one gonna work?
I don't know if it works. Hey, Rick, does the mic stand work?
It's not big enough to hold these mics. Okay.
Yeah, I can talk loud. I can talk loud.
You'll talk loud enough? Okay. Yeah, they just need to hear you right there. So go ahead. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get you started here, Magi. And Sydney will be right back. Kim, are you going to stay here, or are you going to go over there and watch the show? Well,
whatever you want me to do.
Where would you like Kim to sit? Over there?
Me over here?
Anywhere you like.
Okay.
If you guys want.
You might like the show better. I think I'm going to move over there too.
Okay.
So that way we can give him the whole table, and he can use that whole area. But like I said, Magi, I can help describe to the people on the radio what's going on. All right.
Yeah,
So
that'd be perfect.
Magi is getting his stuff ready. Here's the first magic trick. Can I get up? Oh, very slowly, but yes, it did happen. It did happen. It's all those steps I've been getting in, Sydney. So Magi is getting ready to go. We're still here, folks, even though none of us are on camera right at the moment.
We're always
But
watching.
we're here. We're here. There we go. And he's got his case down here. You going to bring the whole case up here? So he's ready to go. And he's obviously portable. He can work stuff right out of his case there. So that's a good deal. What's that?
You're right there. You're on camera. I don't know about the...
Let me look down here and see where we're at. No. No, I think you're okay. We'll just turn this a little. Yeah, if you stand over there on the side, we'll be good. Yeah. Let me back that up a hair. Oh, don't be nervous. Nothing to be nervous about. Nothing to be nervous about, brother. So Magi Jake is local. He's from Lynchburg, Ohio. Yeah, I think he looks pretty good on the Facebook. What do you think, Kim?
I think so.
Yeah, we're kind of cutting off the top of your hat. Do we need to see the top of your hat for anything? Let me see if that works. You look better without the hat. You look older with that hat on. How old are you? 24. 24? Are you single?
Yep.
He's single, ladies. There you go. 24 and single. So let's see if we can get Magi Jake maybe some hookups here on here. Of course, I don't know if you want hooked up with our watchers. Most of them have teeth.
What did I miss?
All right, Magi, we're ready for you.
Sounds awesome.
All right, so those of you on the radio, those you can't see him, he's got a bright blue outfit on. He's got a red scarf that he's getting ready to choke Sydney with. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So basically, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Magi Jake, and I'm a gospel magician. Oh, you don't know what kind of magic I do? Oh, it's nothing dark, by all means. Because I do magic tricks like illusions and tricks in a way. Because God does miracles, I do tricks. So basically, I'm going to start out the show with my very first trick I ever learned. Now, have you ever heard the phrase, the hand is quicker than the eye?
Yes.
Yes.
Sleight of hand. Yes.
Now, I'm going to put this silk inside my hand here. Now, keep an eye on it. Because if you don't, I'm going to get this silk out real quick. Now, watch this one. Never show this hand because it always...
It's gone.
It's gone.
The silk disappeared. It was in his hand and it's gone.
But wait a minute. If the blue silk is here, where's the red one?
So I mean, the red one's gone.
Where'd the red one go?
Here, I'm going to take this pink one right here. I'm going to show the silk empty. Come on. There we go.
Yep.
Make sure nothing's in it. I'm going to put the pink silk inside the blue one. Just like this. Now, never show this hand because it'll ruin the effect on how it's done.
Where'd it go? It's magic.
And actually, I was cheating a little bit. Because see the blue silk here? Mm-hmm. The silks are actually in the blue one.
Look at that. He's got both of them. So he went from 0 silks to 3 silks, just like that. That's pretty neat. I'm going to clap on my leg here. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's why I think, like when you go around to people and do those right up front of them, they're like, what the heck,
Yeah.
All right. Now he's got a red ball for those of you at home. Go ahead.
And like when I was talking about sleight of hand earlier, now I'm going to demonstrate that real quick. I'm going to put this ball inside my pocket. I'm just going to... Did I just put that in my pocket? Oh, strange. I'll just put it inside my pocket. I'll just put...
How many you got?
If there's one right here, then...
It must be magic.
He just...
I'm going to put this ball in this hand right here. Make sure it's still there. I'm going to put this ball inside this hand. Now, watch this one closely, because this one vanishes.
Oh, wow.
Right over here.
That's super cool.
It's pretty good. He's pretty good. He's making balls disappear. And...
Oh.
Yeah. Did you hear that? Rick said he'd like for you to make some $100 bills grow.
Yeah, up
You
here.
think you can do that?
I actually do have some $100 bills in here.
Uh-oh.
Here, Rick, do you like money?
Does Rick like money? Oh, my.
I've got some money right here.
What, does he open his wallet and the malls
Those
fly
don't look
out?
like $100 bills. Are those $100 bills? No. $2 bills.
Like, basically, before I became a magician, I ran so low on money, so I was praying. I was like, please bless me with some money. I have to spend money on magic tricks and all that. So, I would end up with $3 there. But the strange part is, about a year later, I just earned more money. So I just got back to what I spent. But I don't know how it's possible, because when I would spend money on props, I'm like, well, I'm low on money, but somehow God has blessed me with more money.
Wish he'd do that for me.
And now, because God has given me so much blessings, I'm fully rich.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all that money. Look at all that money. It just keeps expanding in there.
That'd be all right.
It'd be like adding water to it and then
That's
just
right.
keep growing. That'd be all right.
Where can I get a magic jacket? That's what I want.
Costs a lot.
I bet it does. I bet it does.
And speaking about money, I gotta do nothing stick right here. This stick does nothing.
It's a nothing stick, okay.
Like when you pull the red one down, the white one goes down. When you pull the blue one, the red one goes. You pull the white one, the blue one, it goes vice versa. When that one's connected to that one goes there. When this one's connected to this one pulls this, then it's all endless loops. But the strange part is, there's no strings at all.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing in the middle of it.
So how do you do it?
You can keep a secret.
No.
I can keep a secret.
No.
Now for my next trick, I've got, where's that? There they are right here. Now, are you familiar with playing cards?
Sure.
Like 10 clubs, 10 spades, all that?
Mm-hmm.
These are my 3 favorite playing cards, because you'll never guess what they remind me of. Like the King of Hearts, 10 spades and 2 of clubs. The King of Hearts reminds me of Jesus in a way. And the 10 reminds me of the thief on the other cross. And the 2 of clubs remind me of the other thief. But if you remember, on that day when they all got crucified,
Yes.
when the slaves were in their tombs, they looked in Jesus' tomb and they found him not there because he was risen.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool. And he took the King of Hearts, and it was a picture of Jesus for those of you listening at home. And he didn't do anything to it. It just happened that way. It was pretty neat.
And speaking about magic in a way, have you ever seen one of these before?
I have.
Now, these wands are powerful. I'm just going to look. What? Man, what'd you see? What happened?
It just jumped in your hand.
Here, I'm just going to keep it there. I'm just going to look.
Oh, see?
Are you doing something?
No.
Here, I'm just going to keep it down there.
See?
Kim could do that probably.
That I probably can do.
Now here, I'm going to keep you right there. Don't move. Here, I want to use this wand to do some magic with it. How about that? Now you see this pan right here?
Mm-hmm.
Now watch. I'm going to put the pan just like this. Alakazam. Please work. Now, what's the one thing you love about springtime?
Flowers.
Exactly. Flowers.
Oh.
There you go. That's pretty neat. Oh, it's a lay.
Go ahead. You just go right ahead.
I won't say it.
Grandma, cover your ears again.
Grandpa's back there too, so we got to behave.
Now, have you heard the
Oh, gosh, she is. I thought you meant Rick. Oh, shoot. I didn't even know there was another fella here.
He just snapped his finger and he disappeared back there. That's been his
Sorry.
best trick yet.
So sorry.
That was funny. Magi Jake, he's like, oh, geez.
Now, have you ever heard the art of transformation before? Like, I've got this scroll here. Like, you know those reed scrolls from a while back?
Yep.
Like, in the Bible it says when you go fully into Christ, you get transformed. So, like, imagine this is a person not in Christ. Like, by all means, we love everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But here I'm going to put inside the tube, and I'm going to try to transform it in a way. And I don't know if this will work, but hopefully it'll work. Because I reach in and show a beautiful picture. Ooh. Man, what's wrong?
He's got a picture on the purple. It looks like, what is that, a dog and a guy?
Yep, it's a magician and a rabbit.
Oh,
yeah.
Clapping. Oh, I see.
And like this reminds me of Bible verse when you're transformed in Christ, most of the time you're not fully transformed. So let's try that. I'm gonna put this one inside the empty tube. Make sure none's in there. I'll put it inside there just like this. Now, Alakazam! Please work.
I love that.
And
Yay. Look at
Oh,
that.
it's back to just the purple one now.
I made it disappear. Here, let me try it again. I'm going to try to take this one, put it inside the tube, and Alakazam! Please work. And 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
It's
in
got color this time, yeah. So
When you fully transform it, it turns beautiful in a way.
Yeah. That's really cool.
And
Yep.
I'm not going to show you the tube because it's actually empty.
No way. No way.
pretty neat, isn't
That's
it?
really neat. Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
If you had a chance, I'm sure on Facebook it's not quite, what it would be like here. So, Magi Jake is for hire. He does parties for, he'd probably do them for whatever you want to pay him, but he kind of likes to get about $45. But also at your churches too.
I'd
Don't
say
forget.
it's well over 45, 50
Oh,
bucks.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying.
No, it's reasonable. I mean to say.
Because when you're doing things for God, sometimes you don't actually
Right.
put a price on stuff. You just do
Sure.
it for donation, and 9 times out of 10, you get more than what you'd usually ask.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, mostly for church shows, they offer pay. I'm like, no, donate to the church.
That's really cool.
Well, you should take something for your expenses, but yeah.
And I think the gratitude of enjoying people's reactions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that, and I'm going to tell you also, and you've just started doing the Christian show part. One thing that, and you may do this already, but you need to tie in people that may not believe, and try to get believers to come to Christ.
Like when I post on Facebook, I say it's welcome for everyone. And there's sometimes people are like, I'm not a believer, but I'm like, you're free to come as much as you want.
Yeah, watch it. That doesn't mean you still can't watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like to get on that topic in a way, I've got 3 ropes right here. Like these ropes remind me of sin in a way. Like there's people that sin just a little bit, like not too much.
That's kind of like me, yeah.
Like
Then there's me, the holy one.
a little bit, like they sin a lot but not too much.
That'd be like Sydney, yeah.
But then there's the people that sin.
Then you got Kim and Rick.
I'm the
Kim
holy
and
one.
Rick.
What do
There we
you
go.
mean? Like,
But there's good news with sin and all that. Like, by all means, sin isn't good. But in God's eyes, He puts sin all together. And most of the time, like, I don't know how He does it, because He's a God that we don't know that much. But when He takes sin, He makes it all equal. Like, when the Bible says all sin is equal in a way. So, when God sees sin, He's like, hey, please get out of that. So He makes it all one.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty
very
neat.
cool.
Took the 3 ropes and turned
Made
it
it
into
into
one. Yep. And that's a perfect way to try to bring people to Christ, because we're all broken,
Oh, that makes
and then
real
it brings
sense.
you back together. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
like when people come up to me, they're like, how do you become a magician? I'm like, or Christian, I mean. How
Yeah.
do you become one? I'm like, you just gotta believe. Like,
You just are.
Well, you should accept. You should verbally accept. And one thing, see, you don't know this about me, but I used to play in a Christian rock band. And we would try to bring people to Christ, obviously, through that. But yeah, you need to be accepting. You need to take Jesus Christ as your Savior. But then people stop there. And really, there really is another step. I mean, you should not only accept Christ, but then you should also work to be Christ-like. Even though
In
no
God's image.
one's going to be perfect like Christ. But you should work to be Christ-like. I mean,
That makes
just saying you're Christian and then going out and doing all your old ways of the past really isn't. And there's a better word. The word is escaping me right now. But to be sanctified actually is what it's called. Yeah, saved and sanctified, and that's what you can show people through this. Yeah, you got to keep working on it. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
you're fine. But basically, when you become a full-time Christian, God's grace empowers you so much that it's a feeling that no one can feel if you're not, like, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
And like on the topic of that, how do you like school?
Yes.
Now, I got this rope here. Now, which color is in the middle?
Yellow.
Are you sure about that?
At the moment.
Because I can show you that the red one's in the middle.
Now the red one's in the middle.
But I don't know how that's possible.
Magnetism.
Now here, I'm going to take the rope. Now, which one's in the middle?
I will go yellow.
Yep, actually the yellow one's in the middle. That's crazy, isn't it?
It's, yes.
Now, hold on.
Miss Paisley.
Paisley's trying to figure out how do you do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I
art
She's a
illusion,
sweet dog.
sorry. The art illusion is like we have 3 ropes right here. Now you see they're unlinkable. Like here, I'm gonna put this one right here a moment. Now the art illusion is seeing some that you don't see, and some you don't see is happening. But that can't be possible because they're knotted, right?
Right.
Because actually they're not even knotted at all. Now, that's strange. Because if I do this, it looks like they're all knotted when they're actually all are.
Look at that.
Wow.
I am so biting my tongue right now, Magi Jake.
I don't know how it's possible.
I don't either. Kim would like to find out, though, I'm sure.
I think it's great.
It is. It's very cool.
How do you do that? I
Yeah,
like that.
he went from 3 ropes to putting them all together
Yeah, I
and
think
not
it's great.
untying them or anything. It was pretty neat. Kim just likes ropes. That's all I can say.
Oh, jeez. Grandma, cover your ears again.
Now we'll have your help with this, and that's Magic Trick Kim. You go ahead and stay there.
Okay.
Now I've got these tree cards right here. Like they all have trees on them. Now what does that remind you of?
A forest.
Yeah, exactly. Like you remember the phrase they talk about forests, where a tree falls and no one can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what society nowadays. Like whenever someone's depressed and all that. Like I think you know what I'm talking about when kids are in depression and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they think that they're all alone in a way.
Right.
But the good news about it is God still cares about them. So I want to have your help.
Okay.
How many times would you want me to mix these cards?
3.
3 times?
3 times.
Okay. Stay. There we go. I'm going to mix the cards up real quick. There we go. 2. So I think they can see me mix them up at home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to mix them a 3rd time. There we go. Now you agree all the cards are mixed up?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you remember that Bible verse that talks about where a sparrow falls, even God knows about it?
I haven't heard that, but that would make perfect sense.
But we're going to spell out cares with the cards because Jesus cares about us.
All right.
C-A-R-E-S. Cares. And we landed on this card right here. I will put it right here for a second. Now, you could pick any tree card. Now, there was one card in here I didn't tell you about earlier. That was a different card. The sparrow.
Oh.
It actually says a Bible verse on it. Matthew 10:29-31. And that reads, whenever a sparrow falls, even God knows about it. So basically, if you're in depression or the world's getting to you, just know God knows what you're going through and that he's got you protected.
We have several people watching. Billy
This is
Joe
great.
Benner, Courtney King, Bryson Tackett, Jason Tucker, Teresa Moore Shoemaker,
Yay, got lots of people watching.
Robert Ramos, Christopher Walls. He went, And then, let's see. Charlie, you look like Captain America. Shut up, Joe Holden. Mackin, I saw a post office was missing her flag. Give it back, Chuck Wagon. Let's see. Somebody else said something on there. Todd Blocker.
Oh, boy.
Play-by-play magic. You heard first, folks. Well, there's some people that are listening on the radio, Blockhead, so that's why. All right. There you go. Sean Poole. Jason Tucker. There you go. All right, Magi. Keep rolling, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. And do you remember coloring books when you were in school?
Love coloring books.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's one coloring book I have, like the biblical coloring books, like they never sold them in my schools.
Yeah.
So I had to go to the Christian bookstore to purchase them. So here I'm gonna look in mine real quick. If Ooh, look at all those cool pictures.
Yeah, we can see him.
There's tons of cool pictures in there. Oh, you don't believe me?
No.
No. No.
Here, I can show you all the cool pictures.
We
Look at
don't
all
see
of them.
anything.
I don't see any pictures there, yeah.
Oh, you don't see the pictures?
No,
No,
I
we
see
don't
blank
the
pages.
pictures.
Actually,
Is this like the Emperor's New Clothes?
which Emperor's New Clothes?
The one?
The band?
No.
The song?
No. Back in the old day of fairy tale, the emperor was so what do you call it, vain and whatever. So he walked all around, and a person told him they could sew him clothes out of this fabric, and there was no fabric at all. Can't you see how beautiful this is? And he walked naked down the street of town, but everybody pretended how they loved the outfit he was wearing.
Ah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when it's a biblical coloring book, most of the time people don't believe in the Bible most of the time. So, do you guys believe in the Bible?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because you actually can see the pictures. Like, there are pictures in there.
There weren't.
But,
Yeah.
Like, when
That's
you guys
cool.
believe in it fully, there's some people that don't most of the time. But when they fully believe, it comes
It's color.
it comes alive.
Oh, look at that. Yep, it's colored
Oh,
now.
wow.
It fully comes alive.
Super cool.
Pretty neat.
Very
Pretty
neat.
neat stuff
Mhm.
there. Pretty neat stuff.
And have you heard of like I've got these 3 ropes right here. I'm gonna knock them real quick. There we go. I've got 3 equal ropes. Sorry, my voice is going.
That's all right.
Oh, you're all right. You're fine.
Now I'm gonna try to do something with these. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm gonna try to make them into 3 rings in a way. Like the 3 kings from Bethlehem, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Like people think, like this is 1 ring in a way. I'm gonna take the yellow ring, I'm gonna tie itself together, just like this. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. There we go. I'm gonna make it 3 rings in a way. Now, if you guys can guess, how many rings do I have in my hand?
3.
3.
Oh, you're wrong, because it's actually 1.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's pretty neat.
That's pretty neat.
Kids would be like,
Yeah. I think this is going to be.
kids would be like, whoa.
Yeah, I think so. That's awesome.
Now, do you like rabbits?
Yeah, they're all right.
I've never had any rabbit. Is it pretty good?
Oh, yeah. Oh, to eat it? No, I've only had them as pets. I can't say that.
Oh, I'm kidding.
I haven't ever.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
And don't worry, I don't have any real rabbits. 'Cause
I was hoping you did.
my dad's allergic to them, I think.
I see.
Yeah, did I used to have rabbits when I was little? Or I think I had Pearl, I think her name was. But it's just a pain raising them.
Yeah. Like kids.
I want to try to make a rabbit appear from nowhere.
A rabbit from nowhere.
And I don't know if it'll work, but I want to try to make a rabbit appear. Hey, you in there? He has the hair in his mouth. Oh, look. He's in there.
A hair in his mouth.
There's a rabbit in there.
There he is.
There he
Yeah,
is.
check that out.
Now, what are you saying? You're scared of Charlie. Why are you scared?
Oh, man.
Man,
Afraid I'm going to eat him.
you're afraid he'll eat you? Here, go in the hat. You'll be safe in there. Yep, he's gone.
He's gone.
Now check that out. There you go.
No,
Pretty neat.
Sorry, guys.
No, pretty neat. No,
Yeah,
no, you're
really
fine.
neat. These are great.
No, unfortunately, this is the last magic trick. Aww.
Oh, that's sad. That's all right. You've done well today.
Yeah, I don't want to take too much time,
That's-
but I've got some playing cards right here. Now, out of all these cards, go ahead and name one for me.
The Ace of Diamonds.
Ace of Diamonds? Sounds good to me. Now here, I'm going to keep your card right here for now. I'm going to mix
Are
it
you
with-
sure that's my card?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I want to take the cards. I want to split them in half. One face up, one face down.
Okay.
Now I'm going to mix them pretty good. There we go. Now you see they're similar. There we go. Do you see they're all mixed up?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put your card face down in it.
Okay.
Now, how crazy would it be if I tell you I knew which card you were going to pick ahead of time?
Crazy.
Look.
Because it was in the middle. Are they all going to be ace of diamonds?
They're all right side up.
Oh, they're all right side up.
Your card's the only one that's right side down.
I see.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like I said, I'm going to clap here again.
Yay.
Yeah. It's hard to do this without an audience, I bet.
I think I think this is pretty great.
Now, my name is Magi Jake. Thank you, Charlie, for having me so much. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Rick. Thank you all so much for having me. Have a blessed day.
And Magi, go ahead and tell them where your website, your Facebook page and all that, if they want to follow you, if they're interested in booking you and all that.
And if you guys want, I run a page on Facebook called Gospel Magician Magi Jake.
Gospel Magician Magi Jake.
Yep, just comment on one of the videos on there. Now I'll add you as a friend request from the comment. Then we can talk from there with shows and all that.
Okay.
So do you have another thing booked right now?
I'm actually doing convention in 2 Sundays.
Where's that at?
It's in I'm not for sure the precise location, but it's in Middletown.
Middletown?
Middletown.
Be careful going to Middletown, man. That's a rough town. I'm serious.
What?
I mean, Middletown is a rough town.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Really?
You ever watch the news?
Not like
Just
that.
me.
I've been through
Are you going
Middletown.
during the day?
Middletown.
Are you going during the day? Okay, good.
If we've been there 3 times so far.
Have
Really?
you? Good. Okay.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Oh, Middletown's. Now, I noticed you have the steampunk glasses on your hat.
Yeah.
So are you into steampunk also a little bit?
Yep, I love the
Steampunk. I do too. The diesel punk is pretty cool too.
You know the guy that I had at my car show, he performed at my car show in February.
Oh,
Jake
awesome.
Did. The Suitcase Sam, the ukulele man, he's a big steampunk guy. He's huge. He loves steampunk. So, well, we appreciate you coming in today.
Definitely.
And
it was a lot
we
of
hope
fun.
you enjoyed yourself. And we hope we didn't offend Grandma too much back here. She's laughing still, so she might be okay. She might be okay. Well, you know what's sad is everything we've talked about this morning has been like on the national news.
Yeah.
Or the national Twitter feed or Facebook. It's like our world's getting crazier every day.
It is.
Even more of a reason why people should
That's why I said when
come
all
to
this corona
Christ,
crap
go to
started,
church.
the world has lost its mind.
So, even more reason for that. Well, you're more than welcome to hang out for a little bit, or we've got about another 15 minutes. No, we can get some pictures. Well, let's do that after the 15 minutes if you're going to hang out.
Yeah,
Does that sound good? You are? You guys are eating some Wendy's? I got to go get my oil change.
Spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's is the bomb.
You like anything spicy?
Yes, flavor.
Flavortown is.
I knew you were going to say that.
That's what.
I knew I had to bring that.
I knew it.
That's what Jared says, Al.
What, Flavortown?
You like everything spicy?
Oh. Shh. See, your speaking privileges are going to need to be revoked here, I think.
I walked up to the BP last night. I was walking Paisley, and I was going to walk her up there. But then she decided she was going to attempt to attack all the stray cats on the way when we got almost to the BP. So I had to walk her all the way back here and then walk back up there to buy her energy drinks for this morning. And I was pissed. I was like,
We do want to thank Magi Jake.
Definitely. Thank you for coming. It was a really fun show.
Appreciate it. And like I said,
we got him a gig, too.
Yep, we got him your job. So.
Got him a gig.
And I'm sure probably more will come from it.
I bet so.
Especially like doing the church deal.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe just a couple of things I said too. Maybe kind of expand upon that.
Cause for youth groups and things, they really enjoy that.
Well, and even like kids' birthday parties.
Yeah.
A lot of people may not realize. A lot of people. Yeah, a lot of kids, they see churches, but they don't even know what they mean anymore. So
you're right.
And that doesn't hurt to have everybody with us. Any car, bike shows coming up? Sean Poole's asking. This week we just have cruise-ins. We got cruise-in tonight at Blanchester, Chubby's Pizza, 5 to 8. Tomorrow night we'll be at the VFW in Wilmington, 5 to 8. And then Thursday will be at Generations for the last Generations cruise of the season. And that's 5.
Already?
Yeah, well, it's September. Yeah, it's
this summer
last one in September.
Coming on.
And then this weekend, I don't have anything as far as car shows. But next weekend, I can't wait to come back and report about this. The 26th, me and the wife and hopefully a couple of friends are going to go down. Hopefully Danny Harris is going to go down. I'm hoping Billy Bush goes down. Billy Bush has got a Challenger that's got a huge Ghostbusters theme on it, and it's really, really neat. He's got it's kind of like for Slimer, and it's that Slimer color, and he's got like the faces of the actors painted on the back of his inside of his trunk lid. You open up the hood, and there's all these scenes from Ghostbusters.
Oh, wow.
And hopefully they're going to go with me. We're going to go to Moundsville State Penitentiary.
Ooh.
And
they're going to keep you? They probably won't let you come home.
Well, we went last year and DJ'd it. Speaking of which, I need to call that guy.
Is it supposed to be haunted?
Oh, yeah.
Is it, do you not feel that you could something could attach itself to you and bring it home?
Bring it home.
Rachel feels like that. Yeah,
I feel that way too. I feel like when you would go, I feel that's.
She probably won't take the tour this year, but if anybody's ever seen the movie, or not movie, but the TV show Castle Rock on Hulu, a lot of the prison scenes are from Moundsville State Penitentiary.
Is this in West Virginia?
Yeah,
West
right
Virginia.
across the river. And one thing that's interesting is you have the big pen over here.
Doesn't sound worrisome for someone's mental health at all.
And then you go across the street is this Moundsville Historic Society, and there's a huge, it's probably, 200-300 foot tall, just old Indian mound. That's why they call it
So
Moundsville.
that's why
You'll
it's
get your
Moundsville.
steps in for sure.
Okay.
Well, I did it. I went to the top. If you've ever seen that picture of me with my Wilmington College hat on and like a green Hawaiian shirt, I had it as my profile picture for a while. And it's up on top of this thing. And yeah, I made it clear to the top of it. Yeah,
I don't Facebook stalk people.
Were there Indians buried there, or were there ex-prisoners?
Yeah.
No, there's Indians.
Probably both.
That's where they put the prisoners.
You're probably right.
both.
Probably both.
Moundsville, I will go ahead and tell you this. One of the funniest stories from Moundsville is you go back to the yard where, the prisoners were allowed out, and you look at the wall, and of course they've got the machine gun turrets and everything on the corners, the guard houses on the corners. But anyhow, you look at it, and a space about the size of your green screen space over there is discolored. And it's lighter than the rest of the wall because it's coal area. So, the walls are just covered with soot. And now they're outside, and some people start asking the tour guide, hey, how come that one's area is white almost? Well, I guess a bunch of prisoners were going to bust out. And somehow they were getting blasting caps and stuff from something they were doing inside and some kind of explosive. And they were filling this wall up for like weeks and weeks and weeks.
I bet you it was saltpeter.
And guess what? One day they said, the time has come. We're going to do it. We're going to blast our way out of here. Boom. The whole wall comes down. They were all in shock that it actually worked and none of them ran. So they ended up having to spend more time in jail in prison
For attempted
escape, and they didn't even escape. That was the funny part about it. And you can see it. Like if you go there, You guys ought to follow us up on the bike. I tell
I
you,
wouldn't mind. That'd be awesome.
It's a neat trip.
We'll be here.
The tours.
We're doing a benefit ride on the 26th, though, I think, for Jared's nephew or niece and her.
Oh, really?
I think that's the day.
Then the 27th, the Sunday right after that, which I'll be dead that weekend. But anyhow, the 27th, we're having a car show at Cedar Creek Flea Market for Jim Moore.
This is in September?
Yeah.
September.
Yeah, just here in a couple weeks. Here in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Have you mentioned anything to your guy here yet about October 10th?
No, I've not said anything to him yet.
Well,
I'm not even sure they're going to be open.
okay. Well, maybe so you're telling me I should find another location then?
Well, we'll try to talk to him here.
Yeah, let me know, because I do have a car show scheduled October 10th, but I've got the place I've had it in the past, they can't have it there anymore because they're building a new hotel there, so I've got to find a new place. So we thought about having it out here, actually.
The spectacular one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Spectacular.
Is that over by the Holiday Inn Express?
Yeah, they're building a new Ramada Inn there.
Right.
So
That's what we need.
all right, any closing thoughts on today? The plan is to be back next Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll be in Wilmington for our football game with New Richmond and be on the air at 6:45. And of course, if you can't be there in person, which most people can't because of the coronavirus, you can see us on many screens around the county. B-Dubs and Roosters and several other restaurants are hosting the games. And then
Or you can just watch it on campusnation.com or
That's right.
our YouTube channel.
right.
Yep.
And then again on Monday, we'll have Clinton Massey hosting Batavia. And that, once again, is a 6:45, and you should be able to see it on most of the same screens on Monday
Or
evening.
also on campusnation.com or our YouTube channel.
So what are the screens that are hosting us, though? If somebody
well-
does want to go to a restaurant. I know Tin Cap.
For sure, Tin Cap is one of them.
Roosters,
Buffalo
B-Dubs.
Wild Wings. Gold Star seems to have it on.
Route 73, the restaurant there on Route 73, which, by the way, now is owned by Victor, who owns the Mexican
Fiesta
restaurant.
Veracruz.
Yeah.
They have
So,
a good place to eat
Have you ever
Very
been to
good.
Fiesta Veracruz?
yeah,
in Wilmington. It's
good
really,
place to
really
eat.
They've got a thing here you can order. It's $11.45, but it's called the California Burrito.
You could both share it.
We got
and,
one the other day, and
be more
that
than
thing-
full.
They have a
literally.
hamburger like that, too.
I think
That's
it weighs
huge.
like 2 pounds
the
or something. I don't know.
It's 5 pounds.
5
California burrito.
Yeah, it's a lot of food, y'all.
It's bigger than my iPad here in front of us.
Yeah,
probably
it's a
about that
burrito.
big. And it's just stocked full
Probably
of
still
saw
have
one of
some
your
to
buddies
go.
the
chicken.
picture. You
Yeah,
posted the
I
picture
took a
with it.
picture of one of them the other day and put it on my Facebook if you want to see it. Rachel and I both ordered one, but we only made it through half of ours.
You mean you
He
each
almost
ordered
made
one?
it. Yeah, well, that was dumb.
I don't know.
Oh,
why
that
you
was
would do
dumb.
that.
Well,
Just
because we
share
were
one.
hungry.
You didn't
We
realize
figured that out afterward. My daughter, she almost ate one of those things the whole
Was she drunk?
thing. My daughter doesn't drink.
I know.
she like
so I'm
Charlie.
like, who orders that?
It was her 18th birthday. So,
Oh, okay.
mean,
Well,
she
that's
shouldn't
right.
even know
I
about
remember
drink,
seeing
did
those
she?
pictures.
yeah. She was pretty
She
happy
get sick
about it.
afterwards?
Nope. Oh, she's an eating machine.
And I
I'd
don't
give her-
know.
I'd give her hell. I'd try.
Fiesta Veracruz,
Yeah, try it.
they don't have smart TVs in their main area, but I
Just
think
in
they
the
do
bar
in the bar
area.
area. So
Mhm.
we're probably on the screens there at Fiesta Veracruz. We're also at your place that you do a lot of car shows,
Generations.
Generations, and also Gold Star. And I keep wanting to say McDee's, but it's not McDee's. It's MC's.
MC's.
We're
yeah.
over- we're- so
So-
several
MC's
places that you
bar.
can
We're
catch
all
them.
over town. You can find us pretty much
That's good.
anywhere.
That's
As well
good.
as on any smart device, you can just pull us up
So
yourself.
no attempt to do East Clinton this week.
No,
No.
it's
Where are they at?
they are at Williamsburg, I think, or
So is that why
Fayetteville
you're not
Perry.
trying to do them because they're away or?
they're way in the stadium, and the press boxes are very tiny. So,
Okay. I was just asking.
Yeah.
I was just asking.
But we will be at Wilmington and then at Miami, or not
At
Miami
Clinton
Trace,
Massey.
at Clinton Massey on Monday.
Massey's got a good football team. They always
That is
Miami
accurate.
Trace plays, I think Jackson this week.
Yeah,
at
that's going to be
Jackson.
a tough game, especially at
At
Jackson.
have a
Jackson.
great football team.
Nah,
back in the day.
Washington
20
Courthouse.
years ago.
Washington Courthouse
I know.
played
I know.
Jackson last week and got thumped pretty good.
Yeah, and Greenfield played them the week before and got thumped. Yeah. Jackson, well, their biggest school, I think, in that league.
They've got a great stadium. Yeah.
Jackson and Chillicothe are the kind of the creme de la creme. But then Miami Trace is falling right in there, too, because they're 3-0 right now. So
Yeah, it's like anything else. You have your up years and your down years.
Yeah.
Wilmington is competitive this year. They
what
still
are
have
they,
a tough
1-1?
schedule to play. No, they're 2-0.
They're 2-0.
Of course,
okay.
they couldn't play their second game because of the coronavirus affecting Batavia. But I don't know whether they'll actually make that game up.
Who do they have this week again?
New Richmond.
That'll be
That's
tough.
going to be a tough game. They hung 77 on Western Brown 2 weeks ago. So
Wow.
Wilmington's going to have their defense is going to have all they can handle. But they've got a balanced team. I would say that. And Clinton Massey, they probably are still smarting from having the 54 points hung on them, even though they won by scoring 86. The 54 points was the most they'd given up in probably a couple, at least a decade and a half. So.
Oh, by the way, this week I'm doing cardio weightlifting boxing challenge. If you want to join.
Yeah, Charlie, why don't you? We'll film it.
So what are you doing there?
Charlie would have a heart attack.
3.5 hours of cardio weightlifting boxing.
Charlie wouldn't make
Where
it
are you
3.5
gonna
minutes.
weightlift at?
Oh, here I got my own weights.
Oh, just your little weights.
We got cameras, Charlie. We can.
They're just
film it.
5-pounders, but it's like intervals.
Yeah, I think I would probably die. You'd probably have to call the squad. Say.
So, have you been working out, Charlie?
No.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Charlie got himself a fitness band, and he's been doing 10,000 steps a
been
day.
getting
At least
my
you're getting your
steps
steps in, right?
So
yeah, I mean, right now I don't have very many in because
Well, you've been here.
it's early in the morning. You still got time.
Does it still count steps that you're not doing?
I think so, but that's okay. I like that. It makes me feel better about myself.
No, I mean 600 steps is probably pretty accurate.
Yep, 661.
I have 481 so far, so
Well,
it's
you've
not too
actually
far
got her
off. And
beat.
you've had to move more than me, obviously,
Right.
to get here. So
Right. I'll end up with probably 5 or 2. I don't know if I'll make it to 10,000 a day because I'm not subbing. But
I mean, probably not.
So
if
Kim
you're
and
not
I,
subbing,
we
but-
get twice that many steps in, don't we, Kim?
Yes, we do.
running from the law, that's why.
Oh, jeez.
Running. Is that right? Running from the law.
I
Is
guess.
that right? Yeah. All right. Well, we got, like I said, about a couple minutes. Again, want to thank Magi Jake for coming in. Hopefully, everybody's enjoyed this. If there's anything you do want to see on the morning show, feel free to send me an inbox.
Some
or any of us an
suggestions.
inbox,
Yeah.
I've
Except
talked to
from
some
David
people
Hiles.
about trying to come in. Love to get Jason Stoops on here, but he hasn't. We haven't been able to tie him down yet. And
What about your tattoo artist?
Sister Death? I need to call him back.
That's right. You gotta get
Sister
your tattoo.
Death
Sister
is
Death is a
interesting
him?
in coming. No, Sister Death is thinking about
Oh,
coming
the
in.
tattoo artist. I
The
was
tattoo
like, wait,
artist is a
what?
him, yeah.
Like, this just got
But
real weird.
sister,
with us.
sister,
Really
Come
sister
with
Death
us.
is a
Like-
sister, right?
Whoa.
She's a sister. All right.
She's on the bad, so I don't know. That wouldn't have been good to have her and Magi Jake in there at the same time. We'd had a forces of good. And
She's the
evil.
dark side.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I don't know if you've seen lately, but Mike and Brooke, my other hearse buddies, the Prathers, they've decorated some of her animals for Halloween.
What?
Animals?
Oh yeah. Have you seen them? Have you? Yeah, they're wicked looking, aren't they? Oh my
All right.
gosh.
Anyway, it's
They
10
are.
o'clock, and this is WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio. This was the Morning Zoo. Have a
everybody.
great week.
Come back next Tuesday. Thanks for stopping in. Enjoy 50s and 60s music. And just like to remind everybody, Rick, before they shut us off, it's September 15th, and Barack Obama is still the most corrupt president in United States history. Thank you. Have a great day.